Yay!
Thank you very much for your patience, everyone, for hanging around while we tried to figure out what was going on. But we're back. Hi, Radiant Shadows, episode 3. I'm Ham the DM. I'm going to spin it around the group to get everyone to introduce themselves. And there's a whole bunch of announcements and stuff today, so I'm just going to let people go crazy. Who wants to start?
I mean, I don't have any announcements, so how about I start, and then we can get the ball rolling.
Awesome.
Hello, for those who've not met me, hi, I'm Kate, O'Sullivan Kate on all of the internet things, including in this chat, so you can find my handle over there. I play on Dungeons and Doctorates. We recorded this morning. It was great. I have played too much D&D in the last 24 hours. This is going to be a time. I'm going to pass it on to whoever's next, because it's going to be a time.
Too much or not enough?
Por qué no los dos? Por qué no los dos? It can be both. It can be both, right?
Yeah. All right, who's next?
I'll go next. I'm Cass.
Okay.
I'm Cass. Nothing much. I don't really have any announcements, and I clearly don't have my brain switched on tonight. So, yeah, I'm here.
You
That's
are,
the main
and
thing.
that is the most important thing, Cass.
Exactly. I'm here.
Correct. It's not the same without you. I'll go. I'm Promethean. Ta-da! I super casually play games on the internet and also play Dungeons and Dragons with these guys here and on the OzQuest channel on Twitch. I have no announcements other than to just point out that behind the scenes I was getting absolutely drilled for suggesting that technical issues could already be
It can't be ticked off until it's already the stream is live.
Got to be running.
So clearly I have to retract that statement.
Stream wasn't running yet.
Formally,
Yeah,
and with my deepest and most sincere apologies, I retract that statement.
And here I was. I had Delgrim just tick box now.
Just tick box now.
I tick box. What is the problem? Next.
Questionable accents can now be now.
Yes, they can. Boom, done. Okay, who's next?
I guess I'll go. Or
oh.
do you want to go, Heath?
Which I don't mind either way.
Yeah, Heath, go.
Yeah, go Heath.
Hi everyone, I'm Heath. I am the Antipodean D20. I'm based in Adelaide, and I love all things gaming and Australian. It is an absolute pleasure to be amongst such professional people. And now that I've done thanking the audience, I might thank the players, cast and crew. We're going to have some fun tonight.
Absolutely.
And finally me, I'm John the Dragon from Meeples and Dragons. We have an online web store that sells a whole bunch of RPG stuff, but
nice.
We're actually going to be at PAX next weekend. Is it next weekend? I think so.
It is next weekend.
Is that next weekend?
Yeah,
It's next weekend.
Next weekend?
It explained why I'm busting my balls getting everything prepped. But, but we do have a small little announcement. If people haven't actually seen, we've got a new product launching at PAX, and we've done some awesome promotional stuff with the guys at Good Boy Media, and we'd like to reveal and show some things of what we've done. Saz, if you could be so kind.
Oh, hey, what this is?
Yeah.
Hi, Saz.
It's Saz. Shout out to Saz.
Saz.
Saz is currently running circles around her room, going whoop, 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 whoop.
Yeah.
There's the technical issue.
There's your technical
there's your
difficulty,
technical
Promethean.
problem.
That's all right.
Counter was
Now
only
you can have it.
Taking it.
But
Now you can have it.
One off the bingo card already.
Yeah. See, this is the problem
Shout
with
out to
Saz
Saz.
running
Technical
around
issue.
Yeah.
But yeah, we've got some lovely promos done on all those lovely new glasses lines. We've got Whiskey and the Stein for all our D&D
Stein.
designs, and
Nice,
they will be
nice.
available at PAX.
They look absolutely mind-bendingly awesome.
Yeah, we've been
Hydrate.
sitting on this for a while now, so I'm just glad to be able to
Yeah,
talk
I know.
about it.
I mean, you must have really sore asses by now, so it must be good to get it out into the world.
There's a hydrate call from DM for hire, so
there was-
hydrate all.
And apparently John's balls have been busted along the way in some way,
Wow.
so
Sitting on the
it's-
glasses.
it's not only the arse.
Okay, that's news to me. You're right down there, fellas.
What do you mean? You were the one who said it.
You exactly.
How is that news to you?
Wow.
Yeah,
Dear, dear.
Alright.
just come on, let's move on.
Yeah.
Okay.
Can we?
So one or two quick things from me. Again, Saz, who works behind the scenes to make all of this actually happen. She's awesome. She's the other half of the Meeple and Dragons, as John said. And without her, like, there probably would be a whole bunch of blank screens and not a lot of audio. And actually, this probably wouldn't even happen. So, Saz, you're the bomb. If you are in PAX, you need to go and see these guys and tell them how awesome they are and buy everything they've got there, except for all of the steins, because we need to buy some because
Yes,
we're not
please.
going to be there.
Yeah.
But there's going to be a whole bunch of people from here who are going to be down in that neck of the woods as well. And so for every person from the cast of Radiant Shadows that you find, puts you in the draw to win a brand new car. So see how many people you can find.
Excellent.
It's Hamish's
you-
car that he's offering.
It's Hamish's car, and it's a piece of poo.
If you find me, it's worth an extra 1,000 chances. So unfortunately, I'm not going to be at PAX. I'm going to be here in Adelaide.
Yeah. And this is where someone now turns up on Heath's doorstep.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Very wildly uncomfortable.
You may be on a monitor though, Heath.
We're like
That's
Sheldon
true.
Big Bang with a
So, quick shout out to Harrowfell, who we've used to provide all of the character art, and also if we get to anything that vaguely resembles combat, we've used all the tokens, all of our character images of the tokens on there as well. So thanks to those guys for letting us, make awesome things with theirs too. Is that it? Is there anything else?
No,
think
that's
that's
it.
it.
Good night.
No, thanks very much. It's been a pleasure. Okay,
Thanks for all the fish.
now we just need to fade out to our awesome intro. That's next week, isn't it? That's Saz is nodding.
They've
up
only
again.
just got one load of video. We're down the line. We have to wait. We have to be patient, Hamish. We have to be
Oh,
patient.
okay, all right. I guess it's hard to negotiate these contracts with famous people. and stuff.
Yeah.
Okay, all right. Well, let's jump into things then. So, a quick summary from the last session. So, last session, our newly formed little group of adventurers who had found themselves in Greenfield had volunteered to go and try and retrieve the fireworks from for the summer solstice. The following morning had gone to see Peridin at his mansion to see what they could find out potentially from him to further their search for these fireworks. They went up to his house, which was a rather large, fairly dilapidated old mansion. There were some interesting conversations to be had with Peridin. Delgrim once again displayed an eloquence, or maybe a lack of eloquence, which ended up resulting in almost offending Peridin, but then somehow ending up resulting in sword fighting lessons, which we just probably won't speak of ever again.
Please, but I'm still having nightmares.
Whilst that was happening, Rowan had been waiting for the rest of the group to come along before they headed off to the east. Spent some time talking with Tolbin the mercenary, who was taking them off to show them where apparently this attack by these strange creatures that lurked in the hills had happened. Rowan was a bit of a verbal assault on poor Tolbin in many respects. So conversation happened. Gosh, my brain is all over the place today. I've even made notes. How terrible is that? So basically that happened. So that conversation happened. Then the whole group decided to head off to the east to look for where this wagon was. Took them sort of a day and a half to get there. Upon finding the wagon, they discovered that what they had been told appeared to not potentially be entirely true. Through some investigation, they discovered that one of the wheels appeared to be slightly sabotaged. The goods on the back of the wagon had all been sort of dragged off, and a body was found amongst the long grass not too far from the wagon. Tolbin, after doing what he said he was going to do, which was take you there, was very, very close to actually staying and maybe helping a little bit more after the conversation with Rowan until Delgrim was somewhat blunt with him. And he decided that he had had enough. He didn't want to be involved anymore.
Don't blame Delgrim for that.
There's only,
I
there is only so much
Really not
cookies can
Delgrim's
fix.
fault.
There's only so
Seriously.
much cookies, and cookies were tempted. Yep.
It's so much work.
So Tolbin at this stage had turned around, used some choice language, and had headed off back down the road to leave you guys to continue your investigation. And this was about mid-morning at this stage. And we finally left off with you all investigating the body. And you had discovered that whilst it was had suffered somewhat from being sort of amongst the grass and out in the wild for a few days, and the wildlife had gotten to it, the marks that for someone who is less experienced or a glance might look like claw marks did actually appear to have been created by some kind of bladed weapon, probably a knife or something similar. So as it stands, you were all standing around the body. Tolbin at this stage was a fair distance down the road, out of sight at this point in time, despite some of Tiernan's efforts to maybe distract him as well.
Yes, distract.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Um,
you could say that.
And that's where we'll pick things up. So as you stand around the body, what would you guys like to do?
Is the body on the same tracks as where we can see that the goods were taken off the wagon?
I can't remember if we actually touched on that last session, so let's just make the first roll of the night. So make a survival check for me.
Sure.
First roll. That's going to be great. No
First
pressure.
roll, drum roll, 15.
15. Nice. Excellent. No, there's actually absolutely no signs of anything that's been dragged through the grass or anything of that nature apart from the body. And the body's a fair bit down from where the wagon was, dragged off far enough from the side of the road where it wouldn't be super noticeable.
Well, Tolbin is awfully quick to leave the scene, isn't he? If he's the only survivor, he sounds he's starting to sound awfully guilty to something to me, from my perspective.
This is not cloth from creature, so I think maybe Tolbin involved.
didn't want to come up here anyway. He didn't want to come. We made him come. He didn't want to come up here. What do you expect? You expect him to hang around? Especially when he's been spoken to like you do.
It is strange he came at all. He said he come for favor for Peridin. Why he come as favor for Peridin if he involved? That is also strange. If I had murdered body on ground, I would not come at all. I'd be gone.
Fair point.
Maybe he's not involved, but he
Yes.
definitely lied.
Yes, you make a very good point for that. Yes, returning to the scene is not interesting. Grumpfel goes back to examining the body. I just remembered that when we left off, he was. I think I rolled for
15, I
medicine or
believe.
something. Yeah,
Yeah.
15 for medicine. I was looking. I'd covered the body with a cloth just for nicety.
Yep.
And Grumpfel was just sort of quietly praying something akin to last rites, but yeah, he sort of trails off and goes back to examining the wounds.
Yeah, I mean, based on that original roll that you made, it looks like there is only one wound which was made with the blade, and it looks like it was done very skillfully. One good sharp stab just up under the armor, and then basically what the person, whoever it might have been, has done has tried to duplicate what would have looked like a large set of claws or something on some sort of creature. Very jagged tears through the flesh. At a glance from someone with no experience, it would absolutely look like it was some sort of animal that done it. But just that initial puncture wound, it's just too clean.
And
What
we
is the
can't
body-
see any sign of the supplies that were supposedly on there.
Make a perception check for me.
What is the body? Is it a male? What race?
Yeah, good question. It's a male, is a young male, probably early 20s, sandy blonde hair, fairly well tanned, wearing leather armor. You can see that there doesn't appear to be any weapons on them, but there is an empty scabbard at their side.
Human?
Human, yep.
7
7?
perception.
Yeah, look, I mean, you look around, and there's nothing obvious around anyway. But you're also sort of in the middle of a very small sort of gulch almost, with large grass-covered hills. And it was, you almost missed seeing the body just due to the height of the grass. So, who knows what else might be hidden out here.
Can I go over and look at the wagon again? I'm a little bit curious. Trying to remember how many days ago this was, according to the story, as well as just trying to work out where would the horses have gone.
So this was, yeah, for sure. So this would have been about 4 days ago at this point in time. So a couple of days for Tolbin to get there, a couple of days for you guys to basically come back. So yeah, roughly 4 days. I mean, in regards to the horses, I mean, you could have a look around and see if you can see any sort of tracks or anything like that.
Yeah, yeah, that's what I want to do. I want to try to understand the scene, trying to work out if I can see tracks and so forth.
Bust out your Sherlock Holmes.
Yeah, basically.
Delgrim might have another
Detective.
crack at that, but this time he's going to specifically go to higher ground and attempt
Okay.
it.
So you guys can either make 2 individual rolls. Again, it will be survival at this point in time, or ultimately one of you can make the roll with advantage because you're essentially helping each other out. Up to you.
I'd probably prefer to help someone out because I have a feeling that this is not my area of expertise.
I've got a +3 on survival, so we'll
So
give it a crack.
So for Tiernan, like, you did a really good job of looking at like the structure of the cart, identifying what the issue was with the wheel, seeing the drag marks. But everything else is, yeah, like you said, it's a little bit out of the realm of your life experience.
So I'll assist as much as I'm able to.
Dude, we just need to
11.
with advantage.
Oh, with advantage.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
because Tiernan's
Being
helping you.
helpful.
Wow, 15.
15, okay. It takes you probably about closer to 10 minutes. You sort of you extend your search area. You sort of head up a hill slightly, and you sort of start directing Tiernan places to look. Tiernan, you can see that there does appear to be sort of some ruts in the road from where wagons go on a regular basis. But there does seem to be something a little bit different, a little bit unusual. You're not sure what. And so when you sort of call Delgrim down to have a look, you can identify that it's very faint at this point in time because it's been 4 days, there's been rain and stuff. But it looks like potentially like a wagon was turned around here.
Friend Tiernan, you see this? You see where wagon might have turned around?
Yeah, I see what you mean.
Go in one direction, go back.
This is starting to sound like a coordinated effort here, almost like it was all pre-planned, like the sabotage of the wagon. Now we seem as though something's trying to turn around. I'm going to make an assumption that it's going to be another wagon. That's why we can't see any signs of the stolen fireworks or goods.
What kind of distance? Oh, sorry.
Yeah,
Sorry.
I honestly think that this is like a setup. This has all been set up and pre-planned.
We should look at where wagon turned around. If something happened there and wagon brought back, scene set to make us believe certain story, maybe we find something where those tracks turned.
So the wagon probably turned around, probably only about 50, 60 feet back, so eastward. So you've come from the west. It's about 50, 60 feet back from this wagon, the broken one, about, heading eastward. So it would have been behind this one.
They turned around and
Went back east again.
okay.
So they were traveling west. Beep, beep, beep. This one, something has happened. The other one has turned around.
All right, so Delgrim wants to look more specifically around that area where that turn's happened to see if there's anything else to be gleaned.
So okay. So make another survival check.
Sorry, did you say that the wagon, the other wagon, that we're
Mhm.
assuming there's two wagons,
Mm-hmm.
and the second wagon to leave went west or east?
East.
It went east.
So back the way they came.
Oh.
Mm-hmm.
So the wagon had the fireworks on it for the festival.
Mm-hmm.
Who bought the fireworks? Like who do they belong to? Who's bringing them in? Did we establish that in the last session?
I thought Peridin said that he owned them in the first ilk, like when we first talked about it, that he bought them, which is why he wanted them back so badly. So not in the last session, but the session before.
Mm.
So to clarify that, in regards to who owned them, it was never really sort of like Peridin never said these are mine. It was these are for the town, and this is what the town uses to do stuff with.
18 on the
18.
next survival check.
Yeah. Look, no, it's very obvious that there was a second wagon that was here that turned around. With that roll, probably slightly a smaller one. The distance between the wheels appears to be like a little bit smaller than the one that's currently broken down. But there's nothing sort of untoward or unusual about it that you can glean.
Okay. Delgrim will just head back to the party then and ask, does anyone know what is east here? Their second wagon met with this one.
I would assume that Rowan probably does, because she knows what the town's like in this general area. So
Absolutely. Yeah, for sure. So to the east is the large town of Harrow.
Mhm.
It's probably the biggest town in the region.
But
yeah.
if the other wagon you keep saying went back towards the east, well, it would have been coming in from Harrow to start with. So I would assume it'd be going back there.
The reputation of Harrow.
It's a big town. It's nothing all that special. It's just another big town in the area, much bigger than where we've been, but it's just a town.
Large town make it hard to narrow down what who might have owned wagon. This is not helpful for mystery.
Grumpfel. Whilst you
Yes.
guys are talking, you're sort of standing there, sort of looking around. Up towards the top of very top of the rise, you can see the grass just move ever so slightly. Like everything's sort of blowing. There's a very slight breeze. All the grass is sort of gently blowing to the west. And at the top, there's a small patch of grass, which kind of moves to the east of it. You just catch it out of the corner of your eye. It's just like, that's kind of weird.
Okay. How far from Delgrim and the others am I? Sorry, how far have they moved off?
Delgrim's moved up. So it's probably only about 30 feet from where Delgrim currently stands.
And how far beyond that is this patch of grass?
So Delgrim's probably about 40 feet up this little hillock.
Yep.
And about 30 feet behind him is where you've seen the grass move.
Okay, is that that's elevated again behind?
It's elevated. Yeah.
Right. And who's up there with him? Sorry.
It was just Delgrim, because Delgrim was giving.
Oh, right. Okay, I wasn't sure who else had moved up.
No.
I thought I
that's
might
cool.
have blinked and missed something.
No.
Okay.
All good.
All right. So, looking around where I am, who would be the closest to me?
I don't know. Who do you guys think? would be the
Probably
closest?
me, because
Yeah.
I haven't moved, and I was not that far from the body to start with when
I'd
you
be
guys
reasonably
decided
close.
to fire off a whole bunch of stuff down the road.
Tiernan would be pretty close as well, because he's talking to Rowan as well.
Yep. Okay.
Okay. So then, what Grumpfel will do is it's sort of looking at the body and doing a few things and making it look like he is doing a sort of last rites to it, and amongst sort of a bit of the flourish that he's doing and sort of just being quiet to himself, having caught eye of this, he will try and move his just bow his head a little bit, but call to Rowan and to Tiernan. My friends, I don't want to alarm you, but I think we're not alone. If you look at the hillock beyond where Delgrim is, I believe there's... Don't look up, don't make it obvious, but the hillock behind Delgrim, the grass, I believe we have someone watching us.
Rowan is going to sort of nod and start walking up towards Delgrim, just in a she's going up to have a conversation with somebody kind of way, not in a mega sus of whatever's going on behind you.
Kind of way. Sorry, Tiernan, did you literally go?
No.
Okay, all right.
But he's very self-conscious. He doesn't know how to move now. He's like,
Okay.
So what do we do?
So that we haven't all gone quiet, what Grumpfel will do, he'll actually now sort of go, Miera, would you mind coming over here for a moment? Even if she's only a short distance away, sort of thing. Just so if everyone just goes quiet, if anyone's watching us and we've all just gone quiet and started to move, they'd think that something was up. Not that Grumpfel's a master of, espionage and counterintelligence and surveillance, but kind of just wanting to let Miera know as well.
So I probably would have been quite close to you anyway, because I would have been interested in what you were doing with your
cool.
rights and stuff. So I would have been quite close anyway, and heard you tell Rowan and Tiernan. But I'll come over and I'll just say, can I help you with anything? Is there anything I can do to help while we prepare the body or whatever it is you're doing?
So we're
and I'll just kneel down as well.
Yeah. I'll just mumble something to her while we're trying to watch what Kate what Rowan does when she reaches Delgrim.
Tiernan's pretending not to look at what he's told not to look at.
Looking at everything except that spot.
Yeah, pretty much.
Rowan's just going to pop up to Delgrim and put herself so that she's looking at him and thus has whatever is 30 feet behind him.
Gets coverage under his hat.
Yeah, basically. Just sneaks up under the giant hat. Speaking of the hat.
Here we go. Ta-da!
Sort of sneaks up and just sort of goes, don't turn around. There's just some weird movement going on behind you. You just keep looking that way. And she just wants to have a good look at what's sort of 30 feet behind. Or if it's moved, she probably has tried to track wherever it is.
Yeah, for sure. So make a perception check for me, please.
Time to get out the shiny new dice. Hang on. Perception, you say? 16.
Ooh, 16. Okay. You sort of survey around. It doesn't appear to be anything where the movement was originally shown to you from Grumpfel.
Mm-hmm.
But as you sort of survey sort of the general area, you see again, probably about 15 feet away from you now.
Mm-hmm.
Again, the grass just sort of move in an unnatural fashion.
Mm-hmm.
Almost as if maybe something was pushing its way through it.
Mm-hmm. She's going to take a step back, to try and work out whether it's coming towards her or down towards everyone else so that she's not in line with it if it's coming at her, if that makes sense.
The movement, because it was a fairly decent roll, the movement it appears to be sort of almost circling around.
Mm-hmm. She's going to, in her best, pointing at things, gesticulating wildly kind of way, try and point people out at where it is now and which way it's going in some pantomime-y,
It's
kind of
behind you.
Yeah,
So-
very, very pantomime.
Okay,
but
okay,
without the talking.
Okay, no, I've got some of this. So,
Oh no.
Oh, no. And everyone dies.
do we need to establish if Delgrim's able to interpret the hand pointy signals?
That is entirely...
Wait. Interpretive dance, really?
Yeah,
Cool.
that is entirely up to you. If you want to make even maybe an insight check to see if you can understand the body language or something.
Do I need to make a performance check to see
Look,
how good
sure,
that is?
that sounds
what?
absolutely perfect.
I'm loving this.
I got 18 on insight.
Oh, look at
So
that.
nice.
I got a what's my performance? 19 the 22.
Oh, look,
performance.
It's like you're inside each other's heads, man. It's like you're right there inside each other's head.
Odd couple.
Excellent. In which case, Delgrim is, and so this is potentially a bit of a world question. So
yeah, for sure.
One of the languages that Delgrim has is Undercommon.
Mm-hmm.
And Delgrim's going to assume that a deep gnome will also speak Undercommon, and assume that it would be fairly rare for anyone else above the ground to be overly familiar with Undercommon, and he's just going to kind of take the gamble and yell out to Grumpfel in Undercommon, "Friend Grumpfel, take the others and try and circle around. We will try and trap them in net of us."
Does Grumpfel speak Undercommon?
He does.
Hey!
He does. And here I was thinking that, like, you know, I had this in my head for a second. I had this hello sort of moment where Delgrim and I both talk to each other with a Jamaican accent because it's a different language.
Yeah. We all have a stretch redeem, by the way.
Oh,
Yay! Oh, hang on.
Fair point. Thank you.
Ooh.
I felt good, actually. Thank you.
Okay, so Grumpfel, you absolutely pick up on Delgrim's message.
Yes. I don't know that language.
So I will.
Well, the rest of you just hear Delgrim shout something.
Rowan,
given the nature of the message, I won't answer verbally. What I'll do is Grumpfel will say to Tiernan and to Miera, "Now let's just wander over this way and see if this poor fellow has any other possessions that we can pick up and return to his mortal remains before we inter him." And as we move off, I'm sure with a signal like that, they're probably going like, "All right, what's going on?" And they'll come with Grumpfel. And I'll sort of under my breath just say, Delgrim has a plan, and we'll circle as directed.
I feel like that's going on a bingo card at some point. Delgrim has a plan.
Delgrim has a plan. Write it down for week 4.
And can the one beside it be someone in the party dies? Or...
Oh.
Oh, that's a bit harsh. I retract my statement.
Yeah. Delgrim. Oh, I mean, I'll put TPK on there if you want.
Yeah,
but,
look, I mean, that's...
And I need to just put the hat on there as well. Yeah.
Okay, so the three of you start sort of heading off in the opposite. Is it the opposite direction to where this thing was moving? Was it? Is that right?
Yeah. It's depending on how good Grumpfel's going to be at encircling, I guess.
Depends on his interpretation.
Yep. Okay.
Rowan's entire
Grumpfel,
thing was like,
you.
you yelled something. Like, her brain's gone, you yelled something, and now she's just watching where this thing is in the grass. Because she's got no idea what's about to happen.
Now that you've pegged it where it is,
yeah,
you can kind of see it's very subtle where the grass is moving, but you can certainly see something going along. At this stage, it's about halfway down the hill towards the road, further down towards the east. And then the rest of you guys are sort of going the other way.
So it's not coming towards us.
No. It's like it's a sort of like it's literally just sort of circling around where you guys are.
Okay.
So where is Grumpfel going? Because we're following him.
Yeah. Where are we going?
What are we doing?
Are we there yet?
I will turn this car around. I'm not sure where the car came from, but I will turn it around.
Wagon around.
Friend Rowan, I ask Grumpfel to get on the other side of mysterious thing near us, and we try and trap in pincer-like movement. And Delgrim will say this kind of directly, like, in front of
with the hat
of Rowan, with the hat, like, obscuring hand gestures, helping to assist to explain the plan.
She's just gonna go, oh, that's a really good idea, and just pat him on the shoulder, like, that's so smart. Well done.
Of course it is good idea. I only have good idea.
If Delgrim and Rowan are under that, does it make it a hat of obfuscate?
Oh. Oh.
So bad fun. Sorry, couldn't help.
Oh.
Okay, everyone takes 3d10 psychic damage. Okay. So with you two having your little conversation under the hat, and the other three all circling around, Rowan, you're kind of tracking this thing as it goes. Delgrim, you feel like warm breath in the back of your neck. And this voice, sort of rich and velvety, goes, it's a delicious plan you've got there. Rowan, you would hear the voice as well. And it sounds like it's coming from directly behind where Delgrim is standing.
Delgrim's just going to spin around. Like,
yeah.
There's no option. He's absolutely just going to spin around immediately.
Is it loud? Sorry, Ham, is it loud enough for us to hear?
Nope.
No, okay. I just wanted to.
It's just because Rowan was essentially like within hat range.
We're on the same square.
Yeah, we're in the same square. Well, I mean, you're a halfling, you can do that.
Because
she picked up on it. So you spin around, and there's nothing there, but you get the sense. You know when you feel like if you've got your eyes closed and you know someone is almost in your personal space, and you can feel their like a warm breath, and it's just like this is uncomfortable. There is something there. But
it might not be as comfortable for Delgrim because that's kind of almost a baseline for hanging out in the Shadowways. Perhaps is it might almost be comforting to have that.
Yeah, look, and it
closeness.
could absolutely.
Rowan's gonna take 2 steps sideways, like away from it, because she doesn't like that at all. That's nope, no.
What is this? Show yourself.
Then what's the next thing you're going to be doing? And as it says this in front of you appears, almost sort of melts into existence, and you actually have to look up slightly, is what appears to be like a black panther. It's massive. Like think of a huge... just this giant creature. It's not horse-sized, but it is definitely very big, and especially in comparison to Delgrim and Rowan, this thing is enormous. The face, the features, they've got that feline look to them, but they also look slightly humanoid as well. And there is this grin on its face, which is enormous. And you can see that the mouth is just filled with these giant fangs. And it's just standing there looking at you, and you sort of get that hot breath on your face.
You are a creature that townsfolk blame for attack on wagon.
Am I? We didn't do anything to these wagons. Why would they say it was us?
You eat sheep.
This is very true, but as far as I'm aware, sheep don't ride on wagons.
No, looking for firework. Can you help me find firework?
It looks down at Rowan. And it's a little bit like a really hungry person looking at a chicken nugget.
Chicken nugget.
The smile grows a little bit bigger. And its head sort of swings back to Delgrim. And it just starts to sort of walk sort of slowly around you. So you know how something sort of paces around you, and you can see like the muscles in its shoulders just flex and tense as these massive paws just push through the grass. Of course, the three of you down the bottom can also now see that this thing has just appeared and is starting to walk around the other two.
And just to be clear, this is the same thing that was sneaking in the grass, right? It's not a separate entity.
Probably one of them.
It said we.
It said wait.
Be the royal we.
Well, I don't think we heard that.
Could be.
I heard we. You didn't hear
Us
we.
three don't hear it.
So Delgrim, you asked, sorry, if what was it again about the fireworks?
If the creature can assist with locating the fireworks.
So it paces around you, and I mean it's giving you the same sort of look it was giving Rowan. You know, it's sort of like sizing you up.
Rowan has reached into her pocket and is squeezing a small rock in her pocket.
Are we still circling around?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, what are you
Are
guys
you?
doing?
I don't know.
Yeah, absolutely. What are you guys doing?
What do you want me to roll to see if I can identify this rather Tim Curry-esque creature?
You can make an Arcana check for me, please.
I had previously.
You had.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Does this match with the description?
Sounds pretty similar. Yeah.
17.
Yeah. No, I mean it's a good roll, but even with a roll like that, this doesn't trigger any memories or any knowledge that you might have. Because I think John, you got over 20 when you did your roll.
I got a pretty high roll.
You rolled very well.
I'm just trying to remember. Did it reveal any sort of behavioral information regarding these creatures, or is it just literally like they're almost like a myth?
The role that you got, if my memory serves me correctly, was that it was some kind of fey creature.
Yeah, it was. Yeah.
But that was about it.
Yeah, they're not really supposed to be in this area.
So we see that.
Yeah, you see this.
But we were heading in the opposite direction. Can we still see whatever was moving in the grass?
Make another perception check for me, please, because you've sort of been distracted by this, and so you sort of look back around.
17.
17.
Sorry.
Yeah.
18.
Yeah.
Sorry.
You can still see there's still just that ripple of grass, and it's getting closer to the edge of the road up ahead of you now.
Was there more ripples in the grass? Is there?
Yeah, so it appears so you were following something through the grass down towards the road, and then this has appeared up the top. Appears to be two very separate instances of things. So I want to give you guys an opportunity if there's anything that you want to do before I go back to Delgrim and Rowan.
Having turned around, I just want to check to see if Delgrim's aware that what we were tracking earlier is still out there in the grass as well.
Oh, look, I think it would be very easy for you to tell that this is not that. That's like probably 40-ish odd feet away from you now easily.
Okay.
And this thing suddenly just gone blip in front of you.
I'd probably, about the only thing that Tiernan will say is probably lean down to Grumpfel and Miera and say, careful, these are part of the Fae.
Oh,
Choose your words wisely.
Okay. Is the thing that's in the grass on the other side of the road, how far away is that from us?
From where you guys are now, it's probably about 40-ish odd feet.
Okay.
Maybe we should move back. So we're not completely separated. I don't know.
Gotta keep them separated.
Hey.
Maybe we head over to Delgrim and Rowan and just keep an eye on what's behind us. It's not like it's coming towards us. I think we should do that. these are the things that attacked the wagon, or we think attacked the wagon. We should go and help them, right?
Yes, a very good idea.
So yeah, I'll make a step towards heading out towards Delgrim and Rowan.
Okay. All right. So as you guys start to head back up, Delgrim, I'll get back to your original question. So it was sort of playing out at the same time. And this creature, as it surveys you and just keeps walking this very slow circle around you, it almost feels like this creature is trying to display its strength. Like each long stride of its paw is very slow and very purposeful. And you can just, as I said before, like you watch the muscles rippling down the legs and the side of this thing. And it just goes, why should I help you find anything? Why shouldn't I just make you a nice little morning snack?
If you want to feed me, that is fine. But right now, we have job to do. My attention is focused on that. If you are not part of or going to help with that task, you have no use to me.
The head swings as it kind of comes around, sort of almost behind Rowan at this stage. And its large eyes would focus down at the small halfling. And it says, and how about you, young lady?
What about me?
Well, why should I help you?
I didn't ask you to help me.
So, why are you here then? Are you with this other one?
Helping him.
You're helping him. It leans.
She's like full wide-eyed, like as she's only 3'4" anyway, but like making herself as small as possible.
This thing leans forward until its face is like centimeters away from Rowan's. His head swings back across to Delgrim,
who will very slowly, casually, just walk over to Rowan and just gently grab Rowan by the shoulders and just unsmallify Rowan's frame and turn back to the creature.
And the creature says, "Oh, look at you. Aren't you a helpful one? Very interesting.
I am just very interested in seeing fire in sky. I have not seen... I've only seen sky recently. It fascinates me. I want to see sky on fire. This is why I am looking for firework.
Explosions in the sky, not sky on fire. Very different energy. Very different things. Like she's like still watching this giant thing in front of her, but like is trying to be like, no, like close, but not that, but kind of, but yep. Don't say sky on fire, because that's a different issue. Apologies that my green screen is doing weird things. It is sunset here, and I need to turn another light on in a sec. So
unacceptable. Unacceptable.
Yeah, no, that's it. Rowan dies.
Scrub a video from
Given up.
Yeah, done. This creature sort of, it looks backwards and forwards between the two of you, and then its head swings around to look at the other three that are coming up the hill. And it swings back across to you, Rowan, and says, "So you're all looking for these fireworks, are you?"
Just trying to help people.
Why? Why would you try and help people?
Because people are nice and worth helping.
The smile gets bigger as you say that, like, and the teeth just become more apparent as you say people are nice. And you get the impression that maybe it's thinking about that in a different context.
I don't know. People have always been nice to me, even this one. And I just want to make them... Like, the longer she looks at this thing, like, I know she's been re-stretched out, but every instinct is to just be like, no, tiny ball, no.
And Delgrim will just very gently and carefully untiny ball Rowan as much as is capable without, like, cracking spines. Again.
Again? Yeah, so,
And we'll even just kind of also very casually and slowly just kind of take a deep breath. Being a grey dwarf, he's not huge, but he is going to try and enlargen his frame a little bit just to, increase his size a little.
And its eyes sort of glance over at you as you attempt to sort of make yourself bigger. And the smile, sort of, it's a small half smile as it sort of notices what you're doing. And then it says, say that we were to help you. What would be in it for us? Could we eat one of you?
Can Rowan
There's 5 of you.
Can Rowan reach into her pocket and pull out the single sparkle cookie that Miera gave her earlier?
And are we now
it out
close
in
enough?
like a...
So you guys,
a cookie?
at this stage, you guys probably will have got up close enough. So you're probably with only sort of like 5-10 feet away from the other guys.
Can I just add?
Would we have over?
Coming,
Sorry.
Yeah,
Sorry, John. Go.
As we're walking up, I just will be tinkering with a couple of ball bearings in my hand.
Okay.
But nothing.
Are you trying to be subtle about that?
I'm trying to make it look nonchalant, like it's something normal for me to do.
I'm gonna make you roll a sleight of hand check for me, please.
Okay.
To see how subtle Tiernan is with this.
Is he a brick? We shall see.
Yeah.
I'll be 2 seconds. I'm just going to turn that light on so that this stops being
18.
No. What was that? 18?
18.
Oh, okay. All right. I mean, you're pretty confident that no one's noticing what you're doing at this point in time.
Mm-hmm.
So would I have heard Rowan offer like what he said and Rowan's offer of the cookie?
Yeah, so as you get up, you sort of see Rowan very sort of gingerly pull out this cookie and offer it sort of up to this creature.
Okay, and then I'll say, and there's more of them in my bag. We can definitely give you more cookies.
They are very good cookie.
If you help us, maybe I'll even give you the secret recipe.
Interesting. I like it. Yeah, sorry, go Grumpfel.
Sorry, would we, as the 3 coming up, have heard this creature say about eating one of us because there's 5 of us?
Yep, absolutely.
Okay.
It's not being subtle at all.
No worries.
So as you hold up the cookie, this creature's head sort of turns sort of inquisitively to the side. And it leans down and opens its mouth, which is probably wide enough to probably fit all of Rowan.
She's going to like hold the very end of it and just like...
And it's sort of its front teeth, it just goes hunk, and actually very gently plucks it out.
And the deal is done. You accept cookie, you give us help.
Oh, my friend, that is not how this works. No bargain was struck. You offered me a cookie, which was interesting. I've never had one of these before. And its head swings across.
Offered in exchange for help.
There is more to a bargain with the Fae than just an exchange of cookies. But for now, maybe we won't eat you.
Can I ask Ham, how does the rock in Rowan's pocket feel about this discussion?
The rock in Rowan's pocket at the moment.
Which is such a weird sentence. I never thought
It
I'd say
is.
on the
It
internet.
is.
But here we are.
That needs to go onto the card for next time. How does
Pet
the
rock
feel?
references on the pet rock references on there.
Excellent. So the rock, it feels, there's a slight warmth to it, and it feels surprisingly light, which is something that you've noticed in the past, which you've associated with almost not weighing you down so that those little legs of yours can go as fast as they need to.
Okay.
But the warmth is often a sort of an indication of maybe something.
Yeah.
As the other three of you sort of arrive up this thing, sort of, it's eyeing up Cass, eyeing up Miera now. And then its head goes back to Delgrim and says, "So, do you want to strike a real bargain? We could help you, but it's going to cost more than just a cookie."
Well, you have asked and ignored what we have to offer, so I guess you tell me what you want now.
That does not denote agreement, merely explanation of the terms.
Grumpfel pulls out his law degree.
Oh, he's the older of the party, been a trader back home before adventure sunk its hooks into him, and he's seen how gnomes bargain. Everything needs to be explained before acceptance.
Absolutely, 100%. The creature looks over at Grumpfel and then looks back at Delgrim and says, "All we want, really, is just a regular meal. The occasional sheep, maybe a cow, maybe a goat. It's so tiresome having to run around the fields chasing these things. Maybe you could convince your friends back at that little village to bring us one on a regular basis."
What do you mean by regular?
I don't think he's talking about my fiber.
No. Sorry. What frequency are we talking? How many and how often? Be specific.
It takes one big step over towards Miera, and again just towers over the top of you.
How tall are they in relationship to Tiernan, though?
To Tiernan...
Because he's standing right beside Miera.
Yep. So to Tiernan, it would probably be close to eye level. Like these things are big. Borderline being able to ride it, not quite sort of size, if that gives you some context. It leans forward towards you, Miera, and sort of gives you a sniff.
Miera's just going to put her hands on her hips.
Wow, okay. Goes, I like you.
Oh, thank you.
I would say 2 beasts on the full moon every full moon, and a deal could be struck.
Okay. What if it's overcast and they don't realize it's the full moon? Is there any late fees?
Specificity is important.
I'm just mindful because Delgrim said, Grumpfel said before, be careful because they're the Fae.
And to be honest, we don't represent the town in that sort of level of capacity to make a deal on their behalf.
The deal is to ask. We can make that deal.
We can broach the subject, but their decision is
The
theirs,
deal
not ours.
is for us to ask, and we can make that deal. The terms are set. We have been asked to ask.
Weren't we asked to convince them?
We were asked to try. I think this is a deal we can make.
Make a persuasion roll for me, Delgrim. I'm going to give you advantage because of Miera's sass.
Yeah.
And
Brilliant.
Also Grumpfel with his specificity on all of this too.
I'm having the issue with the digital dice right now. It's an 8.
It's an 8. The smile grows smaller as this thing looks at you, Delgrim, and says, but if you go back to these people and ask, and they simply say no, then we get nothing from any of this. That is not good enough for us.
And just a question, if they do decide to give you the meals, we'll say, do they get something in return? Like, something, maybe something shiny, or you won't eat any of their people or something, or you're going to protect them from other things. Like, can we have a little...
Are you trying to bargain with us for more out of this deal?
No, I'm just asking for a fair deal. You can't ask for something without giving something.
Well, I believe our side of the bargain was to give you information about these fireworks.
Okay, I suppose if you could help us find the fireworks, get the fireworks back to the villagers, that would be there something. But you're asking for an ongoing deal, right? This isn't just a one-off.
Let me put this another way, small halfling. If we get our meal every full moon, we will be far less inclined to just take them from the fields. In fact, feeling quite generous today, we won't bother them at all. As for eating the townsfolk, that's only happened once. And to be fair in our defense, they did come up into our hills, and they were trying to hurt us. So we'll just call it self-defense. Although I must say, furbolgs are very tasty.
Miera will just swallow and then reach her hand into her pocket and hold up another cookie and say, "Thank you. That sounds okay to me."
So you wish to make this deal then?
I can't speak for everyone. I just think it sounds okay.
Swings around and looks at the rest of you. Does this small one speak for all of you now?
I would ask for one more piece only of information to be added to deal.
You may ask.
I would like to know detail of what happened to Wagon, as well as what happened to Firework.
And the person you ate.
And the person that we ate. That was...
I would say the person that resulted in demise from an altercation of misunderstanding.
Interesting. I think we can give you all of that information. once the bargain has been struck.
I feel confident we can broker this deal. What say you, my friends? This should be unanimous decision.
So we will approach the townsfolk about a regular meal once every full moon of 2 beasts.
Give or take 1 or 2 days on either side, just in case.
2 beasts of burden or livestock of sorts, and you shall leave the town alone. And part of the acquiescence of this deal, you will help us find and or retrieve the lost cargo from the wagon that you see here.
We can tell you exactly what happened to the cargo. We can show you where it is. But once that is done, it'll be up to you to retrieve it. We don't want to be involved in the affairs of mere mortals.
I suppose it's probably an alright deal considering they won't bother the town anymore.
Rowan, you are only one who has not spoke. What say you?
I don't like deals in general. So I'll go with whatever everyone else thinks. She's very much like in that, like, this is a big thing, and she's thinking about like this thing that's in her pocket, and like she's very much in that frozen, like, you guys tell me what to do, and yep, we'll do that.
They won't eat us, Rowan. We don't smell very good.
Well, that's not entirely true.
That is not part of deal. But I feel like it's a good deal.
So an ongoing monthly meal of 2 livestock. You'll leave the townfolk alone if they acquiesce to this arrangement, and in return we get assistance in the fireworks. And I just remembered before there was talk about explanation of what happened here, and explanation of the unfortunate incident with the townsfolk that may or may not have got eaten.
Absolutely. That is definitely the deal.
Everyone raise their hand who are okay with the deal.
One last question. Does this involve free passage for us? Because there's nothing worse than a bargain that gets struck and then the person gets struck down because they forgot to invoke a rite of passage.
Are you concerned that you might be our next snack, small man?
Oh, at my age, a lot of things concern me. This elbow has arthritis. I'm always one for just making sure the deal is explained, and we know what's happening.
Grumpfel likes details.
And coffee. Seems that way.
Oh yes, coffee.
We most definitely will not do anything to hurt you.
Oh, that's fantastic. I think we can say we may not be on equal footing, but we can at least offer the same.
So for the bargain to be struck, there is only one small thing that we ask.
The townsfolk supply you with 2 beasts of livestock every moon.
Beyond that, because it is easy for someone to just spill words and give forth idle promises. We of the Fae are well aware of how easy it is for these things to be twisted. We need one of you to swear on your own blood that you shall do this, knowing that the consequences of it not happening will be dire for whichever one of you chooses to do this.
Rowan takes like 4 steps away from this thing.
And as she does, like, it just turns and it just like looks at you. And just a smile gets wide.
And So, will Delgrim have an idea of what these consequences might entail?
Like from previous experience or something like that, or sort of knowledge,
or general knowledge, I guess.
Yeah. Now that he's identified himself as a creature of the Fae, not necessarily what he is, that he is a creature of the Fae, can any of us re-roll to try and figure out what he may be and what those consequences may be?
Any of you can make an Arcana check to see whether or not you maybe have an understanding of sort of the habits of the Fae and the like.
Yep.
Not me then.
I'm rolling these guys.
19 minus 1,
Oh,
so 18.
Yeah.
We love a negative stat. We love it.
I got a dirty 20.
Oh,
19 plus 1.
Oh.
Arcana.
damn.
There are 19s and the two halflings going opposite directions.
Yeah, it's amazing. Delgrim, how about you, buddy?
8.
8.
Hence the hat throw of shame.
I need to just send you some dice or something like that. Hey,
I'm switching to the actual dice from here on out.
I need to roll physical dice to change it up as well.
They're wonderful. They make clicky clacky math rock sounds.
Now, Hamish, given that Grumpfel is very wary of bargains, and the roll on Arcana then to remember something about Fey bargains was a result of a natural 1. So Grumpfel wouldn't agree to anything; he just wouldn't remember anything.
Yeah, for sure. So for Rowan and Miera, you guys, Rowan, you would have heard stories of both of you would have heard stories of the Fae. And there's lots of stories about deals being struck and the importance of getting the wording right and ensuring that you understand exactly what you're promising, and also the risks of breaking a promise with or a bargain with the Fae, and that there's stories of people's children being whisked away because they've promised, they've got wealth from the Fae, broken the promise, and so they've come and stolen their child and stuff like that. So you're very aware that often the breaking of these agreements can have quite dire consequences.
Yeah, and I think she also just agreements have been struck in the past that have not gone necessarily well for her, so she's not keen to be signing up for
running straight back into the next.
Miera's kind of intrigued. I'd probably ask, blood's kind of gross.
Blood's kind of gross, like her cookies.
What about a pinky swear?
A pinky swear.
Does he have pinky fingers? Does he have pinky fingers?
Are they?
Welcome, Parisian.
Roll an Arcana check.
What are the cats called when they've got the extra thumb on them? Is it? It's not pterodactyl. It's something.
It's like P. It starts with a P.
It does start with a P. The person in the chat who gets this answer right wins a free car.
You mean polydactyly?
That's the
That's
one.
It.
I don't need to be in the chat. I know what I'm talking about.
No, excellent, great. They don't have that, so no, they don't have any pinky fingers or anything like that. So it just looks. It looks at you, and it's got it. It just lifts up one giant paw, and just holds it in front of your head. Which is about the same time that you realize that the paw is bigger than your head. And it says, well, firstly, we don't have pinkies, but also blood will bind you to the agreement. And that way we can be sure that you will follow through.
Thought you'd trust us a bit.
Rowan just put her hand up. Do we get to know the name of the person we're signing a deal with? Because that only seems fair and reasonable.
I am more than happy to give you my name.
Your name or your name?
My name.
She steps one step back again. Like
it takes a step towards you and then bows down low. Its head almost sort of into the rippling grass, and it's still taller than you.
Yeah.
And it just says, I am called Larozamble. I don't believe
Larozamble.
Sorry?
Larozamble?
Yeah. And I don't believe I have the pleasure of your name.
I didn't say I was making the deal with you.
That's fine. Giving me your name won't bind you to anything unless you spill your blood. Will you share your name with me?
She won't share her name. Whether others choose to share her name is a different question entirely. She ain't sharing her name. Because the last time she did that, things happened.
Wow.
Papa.
If there is blood to be taken, I would prefer it to be mine.
That is acceptable. And what is your name?
My name is my own. I have many names.
I have given you my name. For the deal to be struck, I need your name.
I'm called the surviving son of Narvalorj. Harrowfell.
Make a deception or persuasion, up to you. If you feel that you're trying to deceive, I'm going to leave this up to you. It's skating down the line.
it's not dishonest.
It's not a lie, but it's a.
I'll go persuasion. Why did I click on the digital dice? How many times? How many times do I have to say this? 10.
Can I say, like, well, he's given something that's not a correct answer. Can I say, don't be silly, Tolbin. Just give him your name.
Whoa. There's your deception right there.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, Miera. Holy shit. Who is this halfling?
I'm wholesome Miera. I'm a sparkle.
I am agent of
I'm an agent of chaos.
Have a cookie and I've got your nose.
Miera, make a deception check for me, please.
Holy crap.
21.
Tiernan is largely keeping his mouth shut.
What was that? A 1?
21.
A 21?
Oh, I thought you said a natural 1.
19 plus 2.
Stop the merkin.
Its head just very quickly looks at you and the smile shrinks. If you do not wish to make this bargain, then do not trifle with me. Because the DM rolled a natural 20. You need our help. We don't need you. And as it says that, it slowly just fades from existence. You still have a sense that it's there, but you can no longer see it. And you can now see the grass start to sort of move as it appears to be moving away from you.
Can I use telepathic speech just to quickly speak to Delgrim and, like, what do you want to do? Do you want to make the deal? What should we do?
I think is good. I concerned. I don't know what could happen, but I will wear consequence.
Okay. I think we need to tell him something soon before he disappears and the deal's completely off.
My name is Delgrim Harrowfell, and I will make this deal. Says Delgrim out loud.
Rowan just flashes eyes straight across to Delgrim and they're like, oh no. What are you doing?
The movement through the grass stops. And this thing fades back into existence again. As it turns around and sort of eyes you up and down, Delgrim. And says, come over here, Delgrim Harrowfell. And hold your hand out.
Which he will do. He is still wearing the hat, even though I threw it away in a temper tantrum earlier, so he will do that very thing. Hand out of hat.
So you hold your hand out? Just
Sure.
the hat. Okay. Do you, Delgrim Harrowfell, swear to have 2 beasts brought to these hills on the full moon and provided to us to do with as we see fit in exchange for knowledge that you...
Hang on a second.
We said we'd try.
We were asking...
Right?
The bargain was
to.
we were asking the villagers.
No.
We
Right.
weren't taking the responsibility of the beasts. Our responsibility was asking the villagers to supply the beasts. And if they declined, then we got no information from yourselves.
Make a persuasion roll, Grumpfel.
Christ, oh crap.
Like Rowan has at the same point, just like she's chimed in with the same of it. That's not what the deal. Like she's let
Okay,
Grumpfel
okay.
keep going, but it's that idea of like no.
Grumpfel, make it with advantage.
Okay, cool. That's good. That one was 12 then. That was crap. And I'm meant to have expertise in perception. Not perception. Persuasion. I'm clicking the wrong bloody button here.
Yep.
All right, hang on. Roll it again then. With advantage? Okay,
Yep.
let's try. Yep, no, one advantage with that one. That was 4. Let's see. That was better. That's a 13.
We can't make people do things they don't want to do. We've already tried to get someone to come up here and help us understand what happened, and that didn't go well either. So we can only ask and do what we can, and you don't have to help if we can't do what you've asked, but we can't promise we'll do it if we don't know that we can.
And it was mentioned that deal would not be struck if deal could not be struck.
Yes. Our agreement was that we were to ask the villagers. If they declined, then we weren't to get information from yourselves.
We are not in a mind to make deals that might readily be broken. And she like looks down, and if anyone is watching close enough, she's squeezing the crap out of the rock in her pocket.
It's like,
But
it's
if
like
deal,
gravel.
if deal can be made, Delgrim will make this deal.
So you shall go to the villagers and ask them to strike this deal with us. This is correct?
Yes. We were to ask the villagers to supply monthly 2 beasts of livestock for your purpose. And if they agreed to that, then we came back and informed you that the agreement was in place with the village, and indeed that it was. We wouldn't tell a falsehood after procuring an answer from the village. If they said yes, then you would to give us information about the fireworks and what transpired here and what transpired with the villager that unfortunately met their demise. If the village declined the bargain, then our arrangement was sated as well, and no information was forthcoming from yourselves because an accord with the village was not struck.
What he said.
I will do more than ask. I will do best to convince. I am good friend with Baron.
You still holding your hand out, Delgrim?
He would have taken it back at Rowan's point. As soon as the issue with the deal being struck in that timing, he'll have snatched his hand back.
We're very, very careful with deals, aren't we?
Yeah. Hello,
There's
can we-
reasons.
Can we? Who's going to write the contract? So it needs to be a proficiency for that. So Larazambal goes very well. I agree with these terms. Delgrim, your hand, please.
And Delgrim will look at Rowan and at Miera for some kind of reaction as to if there's any additional problems.
I mean, Rowan's looking at Grumpfel to make sure that, 'cause she's tried to follow everything.
Their reaction and
Check the phone.
And safe passage. Safe passage for us. Safe passage for us. And safe passage for yourselves without provocation.
And the villagers who bring the cattle, because it's not fair if they just happen to be bringing the stuff that you've... And then she trails off.
And what if they miss the full... I keep asking, what happens if they miss the full moon?
Now,
Well,
friend
Everyone's
kid,
sick.
If they
Now,
miss-
Delgrim can just cut this off and just take the deal. We can say as much as we want.
But
But...
as you ask these things, you hold your hand out, and Larazambal just raises one paw, and you watch as one very large claw slides out, and this claw is massive, and just across the palm. And it doesn't feel like there's a lot of pressure there, Delgrim, but you just watch as the skin just opens and blood just starts to pour out from a fairly deep cut. You probably take like a point of damage. And Larazambal says, the bargain is struck. We look forward to you returning and hearing what the villagers have got to say. And then we shall tell you what has happened here. But until then, farewell, friends. And it just vanishes. And this time there's no grass movement. It just seems to literally vanish. Leaving you, Delgrim, standing there with the blood just dripping off your hand onto the bright green grass.
I'll make a medicine check with my healer's kit to help Delgrim.
Yeah, no, it's super easy. It's a very
Oh,
very
great! Now Beyond D&D Beyond wants a roll of 19. Oh,
super easy.
Don't fix that good.
Bandage it up super easy. It's a very clean cut. Obviously the claw itself was incredibly sharp. So you find yourselves now standing in these small hills. A deal struck with these fey creatures. What are you going to do next?
Well, I
Well, there
think
wasn't much help there.
you were very large and intimidating, I'm sure. And
I was
look,
just making sure that we could actually get out alive and put couple of things back in his pocket.
interesting fellow, wasn't he? I've met his type before. Reminds me of the days when I used to go trading and bargains, and people would wriggle out of things and try and put stuff in, and next thing you know, you're out of pocket.
it concerns me, and I feel Miera and Rowan might have some knowledge of this kind of deal in past. I will not press, but if I need to know something, if this deal does not go well.
He was trying to press that you were responsible for the livestock when that wasn't the original bargain. We were to ask the villagers to supply. That was our end. He was trying to make you accountable for every month for livestock if we hadn't have said anything. I'm not quite sure what he was or she was or who, whatever they are. But yes, he reminds me of my cousin who's very silvered tongue.
I'm mindful. I don't think we got a timeline. Did we get a deadline?
Nope.
We should probably start moving in the direction of
Yes.
village.
Yes.
We should begin discussing this deal. I think also we should take Body back to village with us.
Yes.
Just a thought.
New bingo square.
Who's
Nice
carrying
one,
the
Ham.
body?
A thought occurs. They indicated that they weren't involved, and they also indicated that they could point us into the direction of who were. That would imply that they would be within a certain vicinity. Couldn't we just see if we could follow previous tracks of the wagon, of the second wagon? That would imply that they were close enough. They could point us out.
We could do this, but if this Harrow is large town, as Rowan said, then tracks.
I mean,
would
large is
likely get
relative when you're
difficult.
3'4".
Yeah.
Well,
If I may, two thoughts. One, I wish to show you something with the body that I was going to point out before we were interrupted by this strange fellow. And two, we should perhaps head back and try to make this bargain, because we could have a look, we could wander around, we could try and investigate. I think we should try this bargain, and if the villager agrees, then the information from this being, I don't have any reason to doubt, given the nature of the agreement, would cut our investigation time down somewhat.
fair enough.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think return to village is wise decision. I think we take Body. I do not think we go out of our way to expose Tolbin as lie. Yet. If Tolbin is responsible or connected to this, I think maybe it'd be more useful to us if it's a surprise to him that we know.
Perhaps we shouldn't mention that part of the deal. We just say they've offered to not take livestock randomly, but we don't tell them anything about the fireworks.
The one problem with that might be they do not seem to care. I was quite surprised they not care about the sheep, about the sheep being taken.
Unless we just describe them as more aggressive, and then moving on.
Just
to the
describe him in
townships.
general will do it.
Yeah, yeah.
Mira's just going to have like this horrified look just come up on her face. And so he said he ate a furball. Was that Athalas?
Was
Do you
Atlas a
think?
Vergbog?
I can't remember. But he went missing. I mean, that should
think
be
it was a
enough for
human,
them to
wasn't it?
accept. I can't remember now. Looking through my notes, actually, and I can't remember. I've got that he was a magic user.
I don't think we ever found out.
Hmm.
Wait, didn't the previous Lord and Lady die unexpectedly? Or was that a long time ago? I can't remember.
I think we know the causes.
I think Rowan's perspective, like is to sort of turn, like she's watched this thing disappear and she's been standing staring at it, like the space where it was. Just turns around and goes, "Well, either we follow the cart tracks or we go back to town. Can we make a decision? Because we're gonna have to camp along the way, and I'd rather be further away from here, regardless of which direction we're going."
Well, I
But
guess
we
we're
head
going
back to the
town.
city or the town.
Okay.
I think Greenfield for now.
So in which case, if that's the general consensus, she's just gonna start walking because she does not want to be anywhere near where this thing was for now.
How are we carrying this body?
That's a good question. I was just thinking of that. Had a look at Grumpfel's skill listing here, and something to try and make some sort of sledge or something. The wagon, Ham, you said was pretty much rubbish.
No,
Or just the wheel?
It was just the wheel. The wagon itself is fine. You could probably, like, repairing the wheel would be an absolute piece of cake. Like, it wasn't actually damaged.
Right, okay.
It's made to look damaged.
Right, okay, nice. I don't know what
I can
skill...
fix the wheel easily enough, Grumpfel.
Cool. Yes, if so. If we could repair the wagon, we could use it somehow to get this poor fellow back to the village.
Can I use my mending spell to repair the wheel in conjunction with other?
Yeah, I mean, like as I said, there's no actual structural damage. It's literally just been like when you and Rowan had a look, you could see that the wheel had literally been like the peg that secured it had been removed, and it was sort of moved off and put slightly, unaligned. So 10 minutes, you'd have it up and running. It is designed to be pulled by what looks like to be 2 horses, though. So, the 5 of you trying to pull it possibly wouldn't be, considering, again, your size, would be A, hilarious, and B, quite difficult.
Could I try using Mage Hand to pull
10 pounds. 10 pounds.
10 pounds, yeah. Mage Hand,
okay.
yeah.
I wish.
I didn't know if pull was the same as carry.
Yeah, look, you can carry basic things, but once you start getting up to sort of bodies and stuff, Mage Hand's not quite that good.
You need an unseen servant for that.
Yeah. Jeeves.
Yeah.
What if we use the material from the cart or the wagon to build a small little
stretcher of some kind?
Yeah, you could either make a stretcher with the body in between, or potentially just you like a levered plank. I don't know what name it is.
Can I get all of you to make a perception check for me, please?
8.
Another 19. Look at that. Non-essential roll. 23 in total.
Rolling on that goddamn thing.
I rolled a normal dice and I got an 8.
8?
How's that normal dice of yours over there, Promethean?
5.
Nat 20.
Nat 20.
There you go.
Oh, nice.
13.
Okay. Look, Grumpfel and Tiernan, you sort of, as you're having this discussion, like just peeking out over a rise sort of in the opposite direction of where these creatures were, you can see the tops of some small trees. There could be some fallen wood, some loose wood or something like that could potentially be used to make a small kind of, stretchery type thing in that direction.
Oh, look, materials that we can use.
Interesting. Yes.
So you guys potter over and have a quick look, and there's probably enough pieces of wood there that it would be infinitely easier to strap some of those together and make something than trying to like pull apart the wagon or anything like that. It's still going to be ungainly, but it would be probably easier than someone trying to sling this body over their shoulder, especially concerning any person tall enough to probably do that as Tiernan, and I don't think he's terribly strong.
He's not a 10-pound weakling. That's what you're asking.
Yeah.
Just a question.
Yep.
That body's been there for longer than 4 days, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Oh.
So my question is, should we not just bury the body and mark the grave and tell the people of the town where we left it?
Yeah, because it would be pretty...
Because at this point we're going to carry it in bits.
And also thinking about it, like it was raining like a couple of days ago as well. So...
Stretch.
Let's
Does
just...
that stretch?
Yeah. Stretch. This is fair point. We can take belongings back to town and bury body, perhaps.
How long does it take to build a grave 6 feet down? Because that's how it be.
Oh, we're talking shallow grave here. Like, we're telling
Sorry,
them where he is.
No, you said that, but did you miss the part where Tiernan just said, "Oh, we could burn it"?
Oh no, that's a good idea, actually.
It's not easier.
Mm.
What are you guys doing?
Rowan's gonna say, I mean, I can burn it if we want it to be burned, but
It's better for the environment.
It's more about what the family want, not about what we want.
Yes. Oh, before we do anything,
you don't decide the end of this man's existence. We go to town, we ask, we tell what we know, some of what we know, we come back.
before we do anything with it, I just remembered, let me show you what I found before we interrupted by this strange fellow we struck the bargain with. And Grumpfel will go over to where it is and lift the sort of the sheet that we had covering on it and beckon everyone over. And we'll then proceed to explain about the knife wound, the dagger wound, or the sword wound, or whichever. What was it, Hamish? Was it
probably a dagger?
A dagger.
Yeah.
This poor fellow, I believe, met his demise from surprise rather than predator. If you have a look at this wound, it's angled in such a way that it would be up under the armor and into this poor fellow's chest, and then all this other is made it to look like it was something else.
So the person would have to be quite close to them to have inflicted such a wound?
That's a fair assessment, Hamish?
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Yeah, yes, indeed.
So either they were surprised or they knew the other person.
That was my thinking.
Tolbin's looking awfully guilty at this point.
Perhaps
as you stand around, sort of debating what you're going to do with this.
Rowan's probably about halfway down the hill away from everybody else because she's not.
She's not hanging around.
She wants to leave. No.
Yeah. All right. So she's off. You guys would all sort of
20 feet away.
Yeah. You had a glance and see that she's hidden away.
Okay, hey, outside chance, if we're wanting to try and expose this, the way that this poor fellow died, rather than burning or burying, just so we can bring back and perhaps have a bit of leverage on someone back in the village, would a medicine roll give me something that foliage, flora of some sort that I can apply to the body so that it kind of masks smell or sort of not embalms, but stops slows decay, so that we can get this poor fellow back to the village for whatever reason, burial or evidence or anything like that. Do you want me to make a medicine roll?
Yeah, medicine probably makes the most sense. Yep, I mean, it's not going to be easy. Again, this body's already suffered from the wildlife having a chew. A number of days out. Weather has certainly impacted on it, like with the rain and then the heat and stuff like that. Like, this is it's the body, the term. No, I'm just trying to think of an appropriate word to describe it. Make a medicine roll before I say something terrible.
Alrighty, I'm going to go with a physical dice. Old orange.
So we either burn it, bury it, or take it with us.
Oh, no.
That's a face.
Oh, no.
That is a face you pulled.
Not
there.
a 1, but it's just as bad. It was a 2.
It's a 2. Yeah. Look,
So
it
bury
is,
or burn it.
the body is in such a state that, like, you could identify the wound. If you got it back, like, it's a couple of days, you're still going to be able to roughly see it. But the state of the body and possibly the risk of disease is going to be somewhat high. Because you also got to remember, this is the middle of summer as well.
Yeah. Then Grumpfel will be happy to point out the wound so that everyone knows it. So it's not just something he says when we're back to the village and everyone goes, where'd that come from? I'll make sure that everyone knows that, so that if something happens
not necessarily we're in a group when we're back at the village chatting, we all are aware of that, and we sort of can enter into any discussions with anyone in the village with knowledge of what happened.
Yeah, look, that's easy enough. It's easy enough to be able to describe what that all looks like. Yeah.
Cool.
Okay. So with that knowledge in hand, are you just going to leave the body there? Are you going to leave it to just slowly decompose on the side of the road? Are you going to dig a grave?
How big's the wagon?
The wagon is a regular wagon sized. Are you trying to gun for something, or?
Could we tip it over the top of the body so it kind of keeps it protected? Because I'm thinking of it from this point of view. If they want to come back and get their person, they might also want to be coming back to get their wagon as well, right? So they can do like both things at the same time.
You can always try and tip the wagon, but I think that the biggest issue you're going to have is, once again, the party height, because you're going to get the wagon to a certain point and not be able to push it far.
Yeah, you're not going to have the right angle to push. Yeah, no.
So unfortunately, the
how about we just dig a quick grave? It's not going to take us too long.
2 hours later.
Yeah.
Shallow grave.
Shallow grave it is.
Okay.
Shallow grave between 4 of us, because Rowan's off.
And Rowan's also useless for this. Like, let's be real.
Yeah, it'll be fine. But Delgrim is going to strip the body of personal possessions first and take them back to town as a means of identifying who it actually is.
There is so you strip the body. There's a dagger, which is you discover sort of underneath the body when you guys roll it over. The armor itself has been significantly damaged, so that's not worth anything. There's a small belt pouch which has got 3 coppers and 2 silver coins, and on the index finger of the left hand is a copper ring.
Any markings on it?
No, it just looks. It looks pretty cheap, to be frank.
They robbed the wagon but didn't bother to rob the person?
Well, if I remember correctly, as well as that knife wound, there was a bunch of other wounds to make it look like animal. Did you say, Hamish?
Yeah.
We'll take these things back to town. Maybe someone know who this is, and if is murder most foul, perhaps we can get some information as to who it might have been. I think Tolbin. I think it clearly Tolbin, but maybe not Tolbin. Is not guilty until proven not innocent.
The little purse, does anything other than coins in there? Is there something that might identify who this is?
No. You can do an investigation check if you want to do like a really thorough search of the body to see if there's anything.
Sure. Name stitched into the back of the collar.
Yeah. Look,
this sports shirt belongs to.
Tattoo. My name is with the little like sticker shape. Yeah.
Name on his undies.
If killed, please return to
phone number.
Yeah.
Remove child before washing this shirt.
Yeah.
My
investigation.
5 enemies in life.
16, Hamish.
16,
investigation.
Okay. You get in there and have a really good sort of check. You do discover as you move the body. You know how when you reach into the fridge and you pull out like a tomato and you discover that it's been in there too long?
Why?
Right. Why would this guy have tomatoes?
It's like dinner time for me, Ham. This is
shit! Sorry, Kate. I honestly didn't.
Meanwhile, we're all just standing there as Grumpfel is holding this. What?
Did someone say they needed a hand?
Oh.
No. I'm looking for a name, or this guy got dog tags.
It is a highly unpleasant experience, and it does not turn up anything of particular interest or relevance. No.
Keep in mind that Grumpfel with the clerical and not clerical typing, clerical healing and medicine and that sort of thing. So I'm fine with that. But yes, with decorum, understanding that some of the party might not be. I'm not exactly just like ripping arms and legs off. I'm yes, it's not pleasant, but I'm not being brutish about it. I'm looking because I'd like to know who this is so that we can relay to the village with some certainty who it is.
On the road autopsy.
Yeah.
So with that, not being able to find anything, you guys dig a shallow grave.
While those three are digging, I'm going to be looking for little stones.
Okay. Make a perception check. Any kind, like just regular stones?
Yeah, just some stones that I can sort of stack up as a marker.
Okay. Yeah. Cool.
What was that?
Perception.
16.
I can see this shit's going down in chat. Look, you find a bunch of small rocks without a problem. You guys make this small shallow grave, deposit the body, cover it back up. Miera, you make a nice little stone and marker, which is fairly obvious for anyone who would go past it, that it's a little stone marker. And it's fairly obvious as well that something's probably been buried here too.
Yeah. Grumpfel holds onto his holy symbol and says, "May the dark claim you to their domain now that your time and duty are fulfilled."
Nice. And with that, you guys turn. It's still only late morning. It's really getting close to lunchtime at this point in time. Turn around and start to head west again, back towards Greenfield, to see if you can strike this deal with the townsfolk that these fey creatures have asked. Wondering if now's maybe a good time to have a quick break. Yeah, I know. It happens every now and then.
On that nice topic of squishy tomatoes, it's the perfect time for a short break.
Brilliant.
Stick your fingers.
Wow. So we're going to go to break. I'm going to apologize for so we'll see you in 5-10 minutes or something. Don't forget to enter the draw for the car.
7.5 for Hamish's car.
Yeah.
No, not my car.
It's your car.
I didn't. No, hold on. I didn't make
You didn't make a good deal, Ham. You didn't make a good deal. I don't know what to tell you. You put your car on the line.
No, stop it.
But you just
God. No, good. Yes. go on.
Yay.
Hi. Woo. Woo. Yeah.
G'day.
Thank you for everyone who's stuck with us from the beginning and has come back after the break. Cheers.
Not
So
those who arrived
enthusiastic,
after the beginning. Oh my god!
All of you that like locked up at any
Jesus,
point
Ham.
tonight, we still love you, even if
All
you're
right.
an ungrateful human. Like, it's fine.
Okay.
ASMR
so-
session.
So, picking up from where we left off, the intrepid group of adventurers returning back to Greenfield. At this stage, are you just sort of heading back at the sort of the normal pace? Are you going to try and double time it? Are you in any particular rush?
Delgrim, are you in a particular rush to fulfill your promise?
No, other than to catch up with Rowan.
I say Rowan's in a
who-
relative rush, but also she's got short legs, so you know she ain't getting that far. That fast.
And also short legs.
But like, I don't know that you're short legs to the point of having a distance decrease. so-
Tiernan's going for a stroll.
Yeah.
So what I'm hearing is that it's the normal pace.
Yeah.
You're not in any kind of massive rush. Okay. So it'll take you sort of probably a couple of days to get back. When you came this way, Tolbin did have you going at a fairly quick sort of clip. So for the sake of brevity, is there anything anyone wants to do over the course of these 2 days on the return back to Greenfield?
I mean, I assume that Rowan can get a decent night's sleep at some point along the way.
Yeah, I mean the first night where you guys camp out, I'm assuming you sort of do the same process that you went through when you came this way. Setting up a few watches,
Watches and coffee. Cheers.
watches and coffee. Yeah, that's a t-shirt. And yeah, unless there is anything in particular people are wanting to do, or if you wanted to keep an eye out for anything or anything of that nature. Otherwise, the trip, will be comparatively uneventful.
Delgrim will probably probe Rowan a little bit for the significant and stark behavioural differences. Also, because it's entertaining to me personally to interrupt Kate eating her soup.
Fine.
Okay, well,
Rowan,
look,
What does he ask? Yeah.
Probe away.
Rowan, I notice. I've seen you interact, and you are quite often very ready to talk to people, ready to understand and to learn. But you did not seem this way with strange panther creature.
It's a big, strange panther creature. Are you surprised?
I feel like we're not in immediate danger. I thought maybe you would be interested to know more about them, but you did not seem to want to know more about them.
I have had my fair experience with deals, Delgrim, and I don't much care for them. They can have ramifications beyond what people realize.
This would have been good to know before I make deal.
I mean, I didn't stop you, but I wasn't ready to make it myself.
No,
There's
that is
reasons for
fine.
that, but
Have you made a deal of this kind before?
she sort of stops, thinks, and responds just with, deals can have an impact on your life that you don't realize, especially when they're with beings as powerful as that creature seemed to be.
Hey, I have made deal. If there is ramification of any kind, we shall see what there is. But I'm glad you did not make deal if you are not comfortable making deal.
I just think that when people play with words around what deals are, and it's not a simple and transparent transaction, like for example, paying for someone's delightful sparkle cookies, for example, perhaps there can be ulterior motives at play. And she says this in a way that is like more serious than you've seen her be about basically anything ever.
Yeah. And internally, Delgrim is screaming at himself about the irony of ulterior motives and not being transparent in conversation. but he will let that go and carry on with the journeying back to Greenfield.
So
Rowan holds her rock just a little bit tighter that night.
So the second day, where you're about half a day's travel away from Greenfield, you wake up in the morning. Delgrim, you unwrap the bandages and stuff that Grumpfel would have put on to just cover up the wound and stuff, and you'll see that it's healed quite nicely, but there is a very, very distinctive scar. It's quite red that just runs sort of straight across the palm of your hand now.
It's definitely not the first or only scar that Delgrim will have collected in his life. He's probably not overly concerned.
Cool. As you're all gathering up your bits and pieces to sort of continue the journey onwards, you can see sort of off to the west large dark clouds, sort of the foreboding sense of an incoming sort of summer storm. It's still warm, but there is that distinct sort of rain smell in the air.
Oh, nice.
And as you guys set off, after about sort of an hour or two of traveling, there is a light drizzle, and by the time as you sort of come over a rise, and you can see just ahead off in the distance the small village of Greenfield, the rain starts to pick up, and you can hear off in the distance the ominous rumble of thunder, and just slight flashes off in the distance.
I will never get used to that. That is terrifying. How do you not petrified of light and crashing in sky?
Most of the time it's too far up to do anything to us, apart from rain. Although I suppose lightning does hit the ground sometimes, but very rarely.
That hits the ground?
Just don't stand under trees.
You're very short, Delgrim. It only goes to the highest point of the people most likely to be struck by lightning in the party. It's probably me more than any of us.
Ashley, with your penchant for metal things, perhaps.
Delgrim will just distance himself from Tiernan more and more and more.
The entire party just goes, yeah, until there's this big circle just walking around here.
Do any of you guys understand how rare it is for lightning to strike?
As you say that, there is quite a loud crack of thunder and a much brighter flash of lightning.
1, 2,
When
3.
the light flashes, it's very close.
Got this image of our new Fey friend like shadowing us invisible and using what is it with the sound effects? Thaumaturgy. And yeah, just listening to what was happening, throwing thunder and lightning in with just a pinpoint.
So you make your way down into the village of Greenfield, and it's absolutely bucketing down with rain at this stage. You can see a couple of the villagers running between buildings, either on their way home or dropping off goods. It's probably around lunchtime at this point. Where are you guys planning on going?
Well, the Lord wasn't much help. Maybe we'd be better off talking to was it Priscilla?
Priscilla and Wex.
And Wex? Wex was the elder one, wasn't she?
The bugbear.
It was Wex. One of townsfolk said Wex basically around town when better than not here. I think it would be wise to speak to Wex about deal before we speak to Peridon.
She seemed more interested in the village's welfare.
Sounds good to me. Perhaps we
Maybe
could
she
ask at the inn to find out where we might find them. They were lovely to us last time.
Yeah, we could ask Nessa where to find them.
Okay. So you guys scurry through the rain and make your way to the Scythe and Fleece and head on through the front door. And you can see there's a couple of other villagers in here sharing a drink. You can see that there's almost like a small makeshift stand has been put up in front of the fire. The fire's fairly low, so it doesn't sort of overheat the building, but obviously they're using it to sort of try and dry some very wet and sodden cloaks and the like. There's that quite pungent smell of wet wool inside. Yeah, not entirely pleasant. But as you sort of come crashing through the door, you can see Nissa, the Furbolg, standing behind the small makeshift bar. And she sort of glances over as you guys sort of bundle your way through. She's like, "Oh, you're back already. How did it go? Are you did you find? Can't see any. Did you find the fireworks or not? What happened?
Found something bigger.
Bigger than the fireworks? Oh, look, you're all very wet. If you need to dry off, but there's a rack over there to put cloaks and stuff on. I can get you a warm drink. I think, Grumpfel, you enjoyed your coffee, did you? I know it's lunchtime. I know some people don't like to drink coffee after lunch, but did you want something warm?
Oh, yes, please.
And Miera, it was hot chocolate, wasn't it? That's what you enjoyed?
Yes, please.
Absolutely. And what about the rest of you? Hot warm drinks for anybody?
Rowan's gonna shake her head.
Okay.
Which is good.
I'm quite all right. But you wouldn't by chance know where we could speak to Wex at all? Where does Wex reside?
Oh, I mean, you'll find Wex over at the Temple to Lepanzi. It's just a street over. It's a small, fairly sort of nondescript building. I can give you directions. He should be there during the day. Especially because it's raining. Sometimes during the day he might be out in the fields or stuff helping, but I mean, with all the rain and stuff, probably going to be inside.
What time of day is it?
Sorry?
What time of day is
it? It's probably lunchtime.
Well, shall we go see them first? Because Delgrim, you sort of got a time limit on it, don't you?
I don't think there is time limit, but if you want to eat, you want to drink, you want to rest after journey, maybe we take short time to do that. But I would like to speak to Wex soon.
I think getting this done as fast as possible is a good idea, so that we don't have a bargain hanging over our heads.
Hamish, when is the next full moon?
The next full moon would be it's probably only just past. So yeah, look, I'm just trying to think, my brain's going moon knowledge. How many days between full moons again?
28.
28. So you're probably looking at
under the assumption that this world has the same
yes, roughly.
Give or take,
that just makes life easy. So we'll say there's
32.
Yeah, 948,364.
That's actually, well, it's more like 29 and a bit, but it's like it varies depending on. Yeah, let's go 29 days.
20 monthly.
26 days until the next full moon. There you go.
When we were bargaining with the fey creature and it's every moon, I was waiting for you to say, there's a full moon every 3 days. Wait, what?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. Oops. So yeah, about 26 days.
About time, I guess.
Well, I'll finish my hot chocolate and start getting ready to head off, I guess, then. That's the plan.
Yep. So you take sort of 20 minutes or so to sort of, as Nissa provides you with some warm drinks. She does ask Tiernan. Sorry, Tiernan, you were saying you found something bigger than the fireworks. What did you find out there?
Where all the missing sheep have been going.
Oh, whereabouts? So did you find them? Did you bring them? No, you can't have brought them back. That wouldn't make any sense. But where are they?
I just go like, I'll tell you later.
Okay. She seems sort of slightly confused. Okay. Well, look, I mean, I hope you come back again tonight. We've still got some free rooms, and we can give you some food and stuff. And she sort of leans forward, sort of in sort of a conspiratorial. Thank you, fashion, and goes, you can tell me then. And so with that, you guys, you've finished your warm drinks. You head back out into the pouring rain. Nissa gives you some directions. You scurry through the streets of this small village, and it only takes you like 5 minutes to get to where it is. It's a very small, nondescript. It basically looks like just like many of the other houses, but the front door is slightly ajar. You're just gonna pile on in.
Yeah, Delgrim will just push on in.
Yeah, yep. Okay, cool. So you guys
not waiting for stuff.
No, it's not his look. So you guys, you steam on in, and inside, it looks like a very sort of rural kind of church setup. So you can see there's a number of pews. It's basically just a single main room with a number of pews. Up the front, you can see what almost looks like a water feature. It's like a small waterfall that's falling into a little pool that's just at the front in a large basin. And above that, you can see what looks like it's made out of what looks to be wrought iron, some sheaves of wheat, which Grumpfel you would definitely recognize as the holy symbol of Lapunzi. Up the front, you can see off to one side there's a small side door, and tending to the small pool, it looks like they're just sort of rearranging some bits and pieces around it. You can see a young man. He looks to be probably in his mid-teens, still carrying that sort of that baby fat. His pale skin has got sort of a reddish hue, almost looks slightly sunburnt. And as you guys come through, he looks up all of a sudden, sort of squints a bit at you, sort you all out. Goes, hi, how can I help you?
Is Wex around?
Yeah, he's just out the back. And he just stands there.
Rowan does a big smile, and is he busy, or can we go see him, or?
Oh, I can go and check if you'd like.
Okay.
Okay, so I'll be back in a minute. And he as he talks, he just has sort of, you can see the blush sort of cover his face. He's got these very big rosy red cheeks. He sort of scurries off to the side door, opens up, slams it behind him. A minute later, you see emerging from that door the elderly bugbear with his thick grey fur, very, very long bangs, and very, very deep set eyes, but still wearing that same very simple robe and carrying a staff that he's he's sort of using to sort of help himself walk along. He's got a bit of a limp. As he comes out to the room, he spots you all and he says, I see you've returned already. Young Jaren said that you were wanting to see me about something. How was the trip?
It was not as successful as I had planned.
Oh,
but we have plan. We have deal. We have proposal. And we thought it might be a good idea to discuss with you. People of this town, they give you respect. We thought you could tell us what if town would be okay with this deal.
Well, I mean, I can't speak for the town itself, but I'm more than happy to try and advise you in any way I can. Please feel free to have a seat. And he sort of motions to the pews up the front.
Hey, RP question, Hamish.
Yeah, sure.
Did you say Lapunzi?
Yep.
How is the relationship between Lapunzi and Grumpfel's god?
So the relationship between Lord Ump, the relationship between the gods, there is no natural animosity, hatred, favor between any of the gods in general. The gods in this world all of them have a very, very neutral stance. They serve what they are devoted to. So, for example, Lapunzi is the god of nature and agriculture. Good, evil is irrelevant to the gods in this world. So there is no sort of alliances, like, so for example, in the Forgotten Realm, Bob and Phil might get on, but they might hate, Jim and Timmy. There's none of that kind of... Or Brian. Yeah, I mean, everyone hates Brian. He's a dick. But in this world, Brian, there is none of that animosity between any of them.
Right, cool. That's right.
Yep, that's cool.
Telling we're sitting there chatting and Wex's friend comes up like attacks Grumpfel.
Yeah.
Just double checking.
So once you guys all sort of come in and make yourselves comfortable in these pews, Wex says, well, so tell me what's happened and I'll see if I can provide some sort of advice. Oh, don't all speak up at once.
we
Grumpfel's still adjusting his seat. Making comfortable.
Legs hanging off the thing. We encountered creatures that have been taking township. And these creatures, they have agreed to take no more sheep and to leave town alone if town gives sheep, 2 sheep each full moon. We wanted to bring this request to you and see if this would be something town is agreeable with. And they will also give us some information on the firework and wagon.
So what were these creatures? I mean, from what I'd heard via rumors and stories, they seem to be some sort of beast, and yet you're talking about speaking with them and striking bargains. This is interesting.
They are intelligent, hungry, but intelligent.
They are members of the Feywild, so any deal that is struck, they will adhere to.
But they would also expect that the person that they strike the bargain with would uphold their end of the bargain as well.
Sort of strokes the long grey hair in his chin and goes, this is most interesting. So you were saying was two sheep was every full moon to these creatures, and they would...
It doesn't have to be sheep. It can be any beast.
Any beast.
2 beasts of livestock.
All right. And what was their part of the deal with this? We would provide them with these livestock and they would in turn...
no longer
leave you alone.
They would no longer take other livestock, and would they would provide they wouldn't threaten the town in any way, shape, or form.
And we may learn something from them of what happened to the wagon of firework.
Because the interesting thing about the wagons and the fireworks is it looks to be
there's another wagon involved, and we don't need to go into any further detail, friend Tiernan.
Still part of an under investigation, ongoing investigation. Many theories. We need to gather information to see what we can find. And this gives Delgrim a look and a wink.
You watch as Wex sort of looks at the three of you who suddenly just had this verbal diarrhea.
Keystone cop mode.
Yeah. And he's like, I see.
Rowan's just gonna reach up because he's a bugbear. He's a lot bigger.
Yeah.
And just sort of tap him on the probably wrist.
Yeah.
Just be like,
he's like, yes.
It was really just that they'll give us information to help find the firework, and they'll stop attacking townspeople and taking livestock. But we need the agreement for these like livestock, be that sheep or cattle or whatever, every full moon. We agreed we'd come and try and get that from you. We can't get any further information from them if we don't get you to say yes. So I don't know what I can do to help convince the town, but it's really the only way to make sure your livestock don't keep getting taken, from what I can tell.
Technically, you could just give them 2 rabbits a month. It's still a beast.
Was it beasts or livestock by technical definition?
He said specifically beasts.
Grumpfel did say livestock,
Yeah,
but
So
we don't.
You make rabbit farm. You make rabbit farm. I mean, is livestock.
To be fair, the deal of exactly what denotes beast and livestock can be made at the point of the new bargain with the village.
We were only presenting the deal, nothing else. And we're returning with your answer.
Yes, two animals every month, beasts of livestock, and that way you would be able to have some regularity to it. And perhaps these new beings we've found, unchecked, might take more than 2 per month.
From what I heard at the festival, more of them have been going than just 2 a month, and for more people than just one. So it could, in theory, be spread out across all of the different families in the entire village, if it protects everybody. But I mean, I know at home, people are okay to defend each other that way and all pitch in together. I don't know what it's like here in town. I mean, I've seen and spoken to Peridin, and I can't imagine he's exactly the prime example of the kind of people in your town, because people like Nissa seem lovely, but I don't know if that's something y'all would agree to or not.
He leans heavily on the staff, clears his throat. This is, I mean, you're correct. I mean, certainly just having to give two of the livestock to this thing would be far superior to what we've been having to deal with recently. But I mean, I'm in no position to speak for the people of the town. I can speak on your behalf. I'm lucky in that the people will sometimes listen to what I say, and you are correct. Peridin is
an interesting individual.
Yes, well put. He is an interesting individual.
An entitled child.
Also, another way that he potentially could be described. He has a lot to learn in his life, but He's fallen on. We won't go down that road. Anyway, I can put in a good word. I can maybe talk to some of the local farmers and see if they might be willing to band together, because I think this is. I mean, this sounds like a good deal to be made, but I am interested. I mean, the presumption had been made that these creatures were the ones that had the fireworks or destroyed the fireworks. Is this still the case, or?
It appears this is no longer the case, no. And this is why the information they can provide may be important.
Is there anything else?
It does not seem they are responsible.
Is there anything else that you're aware of in regards to this situation? Anything else that you maybe found out there?
We found a body near the wagon.
We did. I have possessions from body. I don't. Perhaps they be helpful in identifying who they belong to. And Delgrim will pull out some of the things from that body. In particular, the copper ring, especially.
Wex sort of takes the ring from you and examines it, and he goes, it's not familiar to me, but I mean, once again, I'm happy to maybe get Jaren or Priscilla to go and have a talk with some of the townsfolk and see if they may be aware of who this might belong to.
Tiernan speaks up. It was a young male, sandy blonde hair, human.
Human sandy blonde hair. I mean, there's one or two, but I don't recall any of them going out on the wagons. But thank you for that, young man. I'll see what I can find out. Look, it's the weather here is terrible at the moment, and I must admit that in my advanced years, going out in the rain just makes my joints ache. If you wouldn't mind waiting until the rain eases off, I can then go and have a talk with some of the local farmers, as I said, and see if any of them would be willing to take part in this agreement. I do need to ask though, if I can't find anybody, then what happens?
I think we have to return and give them your answer.
Nothing will change.
So they will just continue taking what they want.
Pretty much.
And importantly, we may not find out what really happened to Wagon. I am confident these creatures not responsible for what happened to Wagon. This is unknown factor. I don't know how you feel, but Delgrim not like unknown factors.
Do you have any suspicions about what's happened to the wagon? If it wasn't these creatures...
I have no suspicions whatsoever. On a completely unrelated note, have you noticed if Tolbin has come back to town?
Tiernan's just staring at Delgrim at this point in time.
I'm Delgrim. Are you trying to be deceptive here?
Nope.
No. Okay.
Not overly.
No. Okay. All right.
No. So Delgrim's thinking is that Tolbin wouldn't have gone with them if he was directly responsible.
Yep.
That's his legitimate.
No, that's cool. I'm just not sure if Delgrim's
at this point.
Yeah. So again, Wex sort of studies you quietly for a moment, and says, "No, I haven't seen Tolbin. To be frank, I don't actually know him particularly well. He's from out of town. He's one of these people that Peridin hired. So, did he not come back to town? Because I know that he went out with you. Did he not return with you as well, or?"
No, he
wasn't hired to.
He was not very interested in continuing with us.
And so why are you interested in him?
We would like to ensure that he arrived back in town safe and sound because he wasn't with us, and there is safety and strength in numbers. And Grumpfel sort of quiets back down again.
I think he know more than he has told.
All right. If I hear about his whereabouts at all, would you like me to send someone to tell you, or?
I'd like to know if he got back okay.
Very well. Well, if I hear anything, then I'll definitely make sure that someone comes and lets you know. But in the meantime, I would suggest that it's early afternoon, maybe been on the road all morning, I would assume. So maybe go and rest for a while. And when the rain eases, I'll go and talk to some people and I'll come back and let you know if I can maybe influence a few of the folk to see if they can help out with this bargain.
That would be
I hope
grand.
this will be helpful.
Much appreciated.
Anything else that I can help you with today?
No, I think we're all right
Very well.
for now. Anyway.
While we're here, though, tell me what is significance of waterfall? in this
Waterfall?
place?
Purely it's an element of our god, Lapanzi. I mean, water brings life to so many things across these lands. The water flows just much like the blood within our veins. It's just one way for us to show our respect to our god.
This is a nice way to show respect.
Thank you. I mean, you're welcome to come here anytime that you wish. You know, some people come here and just like to sit and meditate in front of the waterfall. It's a nice, peaceful space. Both myself or Jaren or Priscilla are always available for anything that you might need assistance with, if there's things that we can help out with. To be honest, when it's not raining, often we're out in the fields helping people. But well, he sort of gives a small chuckle. Well, to be frank, it's more Jaren and Priscilla. I'm getting older and got some old bruises, and the joints aren't what they used to be. So, but still, we do what we can to try and help out around here.
I'm sure they appreciate your enthusiasm regardless.
I certainly hope so. But I think that the people here in Greenfield, they're good people. I think that's something that everyone should always bear in mind. Even the likes of someone like Peridin, I think he has his issues, but I like to think that underneath all of that, there's still a good heart somewhere in there. He's just somewhat misguided.
He's lost. He's not. Misguided implies someone is guiding. He has no one to guide.
It's an interesting perspective. Well, I'll leave you to go about the rest of your day, and as soon as I hear anything, I shall let you all know.
If you don't mind me asking, what was his name? Amphilis. Athalas?
Athalas? Yes.
Athalas. He's gone missing, has he not?
Yes, he left. He hasn't been seen in a while now. This is correct.
I'm just curious. What was his position in the village?
I mean, he had some skills when it came to the arcane. Nothing particularly. I was going to say impressive, but that's not really very fair on him. He had some minor magical talents. He would help out around the town where he could. Generally tended to keep to himself, though. He had a small house out by Lullaby Lake. A nice enough man, but he had some troubles over the last few months.
What did he look like?
What did he look like? That, young lady, is an excellent question.
He was half elf. He was half elf, was he not?
To my notes to find out what
He had
he
hair,
looked
two
like.
eyes.
He had 2 arms. And
I think
Never
our
make an
DM is
Never make an assumption.
Either our DM or this lovely old bugbear is running out of batteries.
This lovely old DM, which is
Coffee.
like,
We need coffee.
we were the notes.
Coffee.
Where were the notes? Where were the notes?
Grumpfel's on it. Coffee.
He's an older half-elven gentleman, comparatively sort of frail, grey hair, wore lots of robes, sort of very sort of wizardy kind of look that you expect. I mean, a nice enough man, but I mean, like I said, he was having a few issues there for a while, but then he seemed to perk up, and then one day he just wasn't there anymore.
What kind of issues? Great minds, friend Tiernan.
I mean, he became a lot more reclusive. I mean, he didn't spend a lot of time in the town anyway, but I know there are a few people who sort of caught him muttering and stuff down by Lullaby Lake. He was a bit more surly than one would expect from him. I mean, he wasn't, he had a bit of a temper at times, but nothing terrible. But for a while there, it was everyone just sort of avoided him. He was just obviously not in a great place.
I mean, some people are people, and some people aren't people, and then she sort of devolves into the just people
are definitely people sometimes. Absolutely.
People,
I
real
mean,
people-y well. Like, it's, yeah. Just...
Athelas certainly got on with most of the townsfolk, but was just more, I don't know, maybe he got some bad news, maybe. I don't know, but I mean, again, like his house is out by Lullaby Lake if you ever want to go and have a look.
The man was looking for half-elf wizard and sent to talk to him. You think this maybe why the change in his attitude?
Sorry, that's actually the first thing I've heard about that. I wasn't aware of anybody who was sent to talk to him. Who was this person?
This was the person who came into town Nessa sent to see maybe Atlas. We don't. Maybe.
No, I mean,
this
I'm
person
sorry.
Looking for half-elf wizard in area.
Doesn't ring any bells to me. I'm sorry. I mean, maybe there was. Sorry, a halfling.
A halfling with different coloured eyes. One purple. One blue.
It's your friend. Your friend was sent to talk to Atlas.
Oh, I mean, I'm aware of a lot of the comings and goings of the town, but I mean, this is news to me. We get a fair few people coming through here, but I don't recall any halfling. I'm sorry.
Okay.
Was she a friend or?
Yeah, she was a friend from back home, and basically the reason why I left. I'm looking for her, and Nessa mentioned that she sent her in Athelas's direction.
Oh, well, I see. Was that around about the same time that he left, or?
I'm not sure.
Interesting.
I'm not too sure.
Very much news to me. Well, I mean, I hope for your sake that your friend is okay, and I mean, maybe if she'd left with Athelas, I don't know, maybe she had news for him or something like that. I would like to hope that Athelas is okay. I mean, I certainly held no ill will towards him. He was a good enough gentleman.
Well, I guess we can definitely say it's not Athelas, but that's by that wagon.
No, from the description that I think was Tiernan, is that correct? Tiernan gave. It's definitely not Athelas.
Yeah, Athelas has grey hair.
I just want to run an insight check on Wex just to see if they're holding anything back on the Athelas and Bex situation specifically.
Use a good dice that's more
or something. Yeah.
Don't use digital.
Yeah, don't use
digital. I'm not touching any of those pathetic soft dice.
Yeah, no. Use a real dice, mate.
He's just stringing his head. Can't roll. Can't roll.
That's not.
Did he drop? Did you drop it?
That was 4. Like
4.
It was a 4.
A 4.
Oh, you're just having one of those nights, aren't you?
Re-roll.
So Promethean, so this is what a D20 looks like. It's got 20 sides on it.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
That's the problem all along.
Yeah.
I feel like you might be rolling the wrong thing.
Didn't someone get a hero point or something last session?
If you're rolling this one, you can't get bigger than a 4.
Oh, I know. Look,
do we want to see what I would have got?
As you sort of study Wex as he's speaking, yeah, I mean, he seems very open. There's no sort of body language or anything that would suggest that he's holding anything back or he doesn't appear to be nervous or twitchy or anything like that.
Great.
Cool story, bro.
Yeah. All right. So so does anyone else have any more questions? You've certainly got enjoy asking a lot, but I mean that's more than happy to help where I can.
I guess he's going to come back to us.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. All right. And so with that, he sort of says, okay, well, look, I've got a few more things to do and hopefully the rain will ease off and I can try and get these answers for you. But as soon as I do, like I said, I'll send Jaron or Priscilla to come and find you. So don't stray too far. And with that, he sort of bids you farewell.
As Grumpfel says to him, may your time and duty be long and blessed.
Right. Gives you a very deep, respectful nod and says, thank you very much. And with that, you guys head back out into the rain again, which is not stopping. Where are you? What are your plans now?
Well, Miera, is your friend, if they stop by Athalas's place, we got half a day. How far away is this Lullaby Lake? Do you want to go over there and check it out?
I mean, yeah, if we have time, that would be great. But the weather's pretty bad at the moment. I don't know whether we should be walking around in a storm.
Only a bit of rain.
I would like to go. Just to see if there's anything there or if anyone is there.
How far out of town was it?
Yeah, so it was about 45 minutes. It's not too far.
Okay.
How bad is this storm?
It's not torrential rain, but it's that persistent, like you guys are wet through, so like going anywhere else in this weather, you're not going to get any wetter. You're already kind of soaked. In regards to the thunder and lightning, it seems to be more often distance.
Well, yeah, in that case, I think we should I'd like to definitely head that way.
For the moment, this is a good idea. And friend Miera, I have concern that if your friend was with creatures say they eat Furbog. We think this might be Athalas, but they not mention your friend. They not mention Furbog and Halfling. They just mention Furbog.
Yeah, Athalas is a half-elf.
Yeah, Athalas was a half-elf.
Oh yeah, so it's not Athalas that they eat.
No.
I don't think so.
Then who they eat? I thought I was putting pieces of puzzle together. Now I'm more confused than ever.
Perhaps we have too many pieces. Perhaps we have too many pieces for too many puzzles right now. I don't disagree. I think the rain isn't going to do us any harm. We'll be a bit damp, but that's not the worst thing in the world. At least we'll be clean. Perhaps we do need to go and see where Athalas's cabin is.
Keep standing here.
Well, yeah. If everyone is happy to come, I would definitely like to go.
Okay.
Only 45 minutes. Let's go. Yeah.
Should we leave message with Nessa that is the direction we're going in case Wex's minions try and find us sooner?
Mm-hmm. Yes, I think that's a sensible idea.
Sounds fair and reasonable to me.
Okay.
I only have sensible ideas, Grumpfel, and I not know.
I've noticed that about you, my friend. And then Grumpfel will just drop a a gentle ribbing slang term in Undercommon for basically like, you know, the Aussie version of someone calling someone a W anchor, just in jest.
Okay.
So with that, for expediency's sakes, you quickly pop back to and let Nissa know what your plans are. She sort of expresses that motherly, despite her youth, motherly concern. Oh, yeah, it's outside. You get cold. It's wet. But you guys soldier on and head on out of the town northwards towards where Athelas' hut is near Lullaby Lake. It does take you about 40-45 minutes to get out there with the persistent rain. I mean, you guys are absolutely soaked, like waterlogged. But it's also one of those summer days where it's not too uncomfortable because it's not that cold, and there's no wind or anything like that.
But the rain's actually refreshing.
Yeah. As you get out there, you can see there's a very small, almost sort of like a goat track, which you follow out towards where Lullaby Lake is. And as you get nearer, you can see the lake itself is surrounded by a whole lot of very tall reeds. And off to one side of the lake, you can see a very small hut, which appears to be made from just very plain logs and a low thatched roof. And from where you are now, you can see there's a small chimney that protrudes from one end, and there's a small stack of firewood placed up against one of the walls. And from the angle that you're at, you can see that there is a small window.
No smoke from the chimney?
No smoke.
Bang, bang, bang on the door, I guess.
How high up is the window?
The window's at sort of standard person height.
So higher than 4 foot.
Yeah. You'd need a boost to be able to look through it.
Okay. Well, I'll ask Tiernan. Can you have a peek through the window?
Yeah, I do.
See what you can see.
So you guys head up to the small hut. As you get closer, you can see out what appears to be the front. You can see just the very beginning, the edge of a small wooden fence, which appears to be fencing off what could be a small garden of some description. And as you get up to the window, Tiernan being the only one who's got enough verticality to be able to actually see through, there's curtains pulled. The window's actually quite clean. And in fact, all of you would notice that the house itself is actually very, very well constructed. It's very sturdy, very well put together.
Curtains closed, Miera. I can't see through. Guess we tried the door.
Hey Hamish, if you're saying the windows are clean,
Mm-hmm.
Where we're sort of coming to, is that like a veranda type thing, or is it just basically just the side of the building?
Side of the building, window on the side. Yeah.
Okay.
And it's a very small hut, so you would imagine that inside it's like a one room sort of place.
Right. Okay. Cool.
Well, were you about to knock on the door, Tiernan?
I was walking towards the door.
I'll just sort of hold your shirt or your coat or something just quickly and just say, if Athelas disappeared a little while ago, everything looks like clean, like it doesn't look like it's been abandoned.
Has it been gone for that long?
So you remember from the conversation, it's only been at this stage with your backwards and forwardsing as well, getting close to 2 weeks now. So it hasn't been that long.
Okay, I suppose the rain would have cleaned off any dust.
It's also more. This is obviously a house that someone has looked after very well.
All right.
Trying
So
the door?
Yep, so Tiernan, you make your way around the front. And around the front, you can see that, yes, there is actually a small garden. It's filled with a bunch of what looks to be a variety of different herbs. And you can even see that there's a bunch of vegetables as well. Again, much like the house, it's actually looks quite well tended, although due to the fact that there's been a bunch of rain and Athelas having vanished, getting close to a couple of weeks ago, there's a few more weeds here, but you would expect possibly more if the garden wasn't looked after particularly well. The front door itself appears to be, again, very sturdy like the rest of the building. And sorry, what were you going to do? Just go up and give it a knock, or?
Well, I'm not going to do anything if Miera doesn't want me to. Shall we try the door, Miera?
Yeah, let's try. See if anyone's there.
Yeah, I guess I knock.
Yep. So you knock on this very solid wooden door. And you can hear it echoing. Give it a good 30, 35 seconds. It's nothing.
Try the door. Is it locked?
Yep. So you try the handle? Yes, absolutely. You can see underneath the door handle there is a small keyhole.
Do you want me to unlock it? He holds up a tool.
Yeah.
All right. You gonna try and pick this lock?
Yep.
Okay. So it is are you proficient with thieves' tools?
Yes. And I do have some as well.
Awesome. All right. So make a check then.
No.
So it'll be your proficiency plus dex for thieves' tools.
Proficiency.
So +2.
Yeah. It's a shame there's no actual button on roll 20 for it.
Yeah, the tools proficiency stuff is a bit weird.
Okay.
But we won't go there.
So 15.
15. Okay. You guys watch as Tiernan sort of has to kneel down slightly, pulls these tools out, starts sort of probing and working away at the lock. Takes you a little bit longer than you would have expected, Tiernan. But eventually over the rain, you can hear this click. And when you try the door handle, yep, sure enough, pulls down and the door swings open outwards.
Right.
Inwards, sorry. Thinking front doors.
Push the door open. What do we see?
Okay. Inside this little house, you see that there's a single bed off in one corner, which is neatly made, and there's a large chest at the end of it. There's a table and 2 chairs on the other side of the room, and under where the chimney was, there's a very small fireplace. Hanging over the fireplace is a small cast iron pot. There's some shelves on the wall and a few plates and cups, again, all very neatly positioned. And there's also some cupboards as well, which again are just sort of up on the walls. You can see, because this room is so small, just looking through the doorway, that on the table itself there's a small pile of paper, very neatly stacked, and a small inkwell with a quill sitting at the top of it.
Well, Miera will take a step forward and step over the threshold and probably just have a look around and see if she can. So
hold on. So you're actually going to go in, are you, Miera?
Yeah.
Okay. No, that's fine.
I hope there's like a jug of water in there because we all got to hydrate. Go.
You too, chat. You too.
So you step inside, Miera. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
I'll pop in out of the rain.
Yep.
As will Delgrim.
Yeah, I think we got hydrated by that rain quite sufficiently.
Yeah. So all of you, unless otherwise, you're all just going to sort of bundle into this little house.
Rowan,
Sure.
just before she goes in the door, is going to kind of do a sweeping glance around outside to make sure that they're not, like, that there's no one else around.
Okay. All right. Can you make a perception check for me, please?
That is a 9.
9. Looks fine. You cannot see anybody.
Nope.
through the rain, through... Yep, no, nothing at all.
Okay, go inside.
Okay, so you guys all head inside, close the door behind you. It's a cozy little place. Again, very tidy, very neat.
So I'm going to make a beeline to the table, I think,
Okay.
and the papers, and just kind of have a look at the papers and see if there's, anything that might scream out, Bex has been there, like maybe some handwriting or anything like that. So just having a look in general to see if anything sort of pops out.
Okay, so that's what Miera is doing. What's everybody else going to do?
Noticing the neatness of the place, I'd probably try to wipe my feet a little bit to make sure I'm not making any mess. And just casually just glancing over things, seeing anything, trying to determine to see if anything pops out.
Okay. What about Grumpfel, Delgrim, and Rowan?
How long does it look that this little hut has been not abandoned? That's the wrong word. Like without occupant.
Make a perception check. We'll get back to everyone else. I'm just trying to get everyone sorted. Yep.
Yeah, Rowan's gonna go towards the back of the room and just sort of trying to suss out what.
Natural 20.
Okay. Right.
So it's 24 in total.
Okay. So, sorry, what were you doing as well, Rowan? You were heading towards the back of the room.
Back of the room, just sort of trying to suss out what, trying to find out more about Athelas other than what people have said.
Okay.
That makes sense.
Yeah, for sure.
Who's this person?
Who is this? And Delgrim's going to specifically check out cooking area, the fire and cooking area, and see if there's anything left behind that might indicate literally anything about future intentions in terms of preparation and such.
Awesome. All right. So firstly, Grumpfel, with that mind-bendingly high roll, it looks like there hasn't been anybody here for a couple of weeks. Pretty much in line with what you have heard. There is just a very thin coating of dust. Miera, with the paper and stuff, you see that there's not a lot of paper there. There's probably a dozen sheets, and they're all blank. You do notice that the inkwell itself is actually empty. Tiernan, can I get you to make a perception check for me, please, as you sort of look around to see what you notice?
So good at it. 6.
Yeah, man. It's a room. It's a house. It's got stuff in it. That stuff is there where it should be.
Awesome.
Delgrim, can you make an investigation check? Because you're sort of going over and having sort of a rummage through. It's more of it's not so much a look as in you're getting in there to sort of check stuff.
It's a 6.
Fuck, just...
I think we needed to swap those skill checks around, Delgrim.
Time for a stretch, folks, on that moment.
Yeah. Stretch these dice.
Yeah, Delgrim needs some
Sounds
dice.
like Promethean needs to buy some more dice next weekend before our next session.
meeplesanddragons.com.au, buy all the dice, or go and visit them.
I cannot wait to visit Meeples and Dragons at PAX and buy all the dice.
All the dice.
All of them. You just won't have any, guys. Just remember to take Promethean stock plus normal people stock. Cool.
Yeah. Rowan, I think for you, make a perception check just at this stage again, because you're sort of looking around.
16.
Your impression from all of this is that the person who lived here was very house proud. They were very particular about what they did. Like when you look around, all of the plates are perfectly lined up in little stacks. The cups, they're all again perfectly aligned. There's 2 that have got handles, and the handles are both pointing exactly the same direction. The paper is very neatly lined up until Miera goes and messes with it. Yes, absolutely. Grumpfel.
Sorry, if I may, and again, trying to not to metagame, given what we've just heard Rowan investigating, given that my D20, my natural 20, I'm trying to milk it for all I can here,
I'm going to jump in. I'm going to jump in because I've actually got a bit of extra information for you.
Right.
Circling back around.
Yeah.
What else you notice with that roll is you're looking at the table and it looks thicker than it should be. Like you would expect a normal table to sort of have a certain thickness, but this one is just I don't know, there's just something weird about it. Just doesn't seem seems off.
The table is thicker than it should be.
Yeah.
Okay. Not where I was going, but good to know too. Given that Grumpfel's natural 20 was looking to see how long it had been without occupant, and again, not trying to meta game on what Rowan's just discovered, but would that give me insight that would Grumpfel be able to tell if the occupant left in a hurry, or the departure was planned and it was sort of they packed and then left, or whether it was a hasty departure?
Oh, I think it would be very obvious to everybody that whoever lived here, when there was definitely no hurry, and when they left, like everything is in the place it should be, definitively. Right. The paper is tidy, the cups, the plates, the pots, nice and clean. Everything is just tickety boo.
All right. I'm going to have a closer look at the table.
Okay.
I'll probably go over and have a look at the chest after.
Yep, for sure. So Tiernan, you have a look at the chest. It opens up easily enough. It doesn't appear to be locked or anything like that. Inside, you find perfectly folded a single pair of underwear and a single robe. And you see on the top part of the robe that there's a small hole in it, like a tear. But both of them have been like immaculately folded.
Okay, so he's got a tear in the robe. Okay. What kind of?
Does Grumpfel see Tiernan looking at this?
Yeah.
Does that hole line up with the dagger puncture wound on the body we found?
Interesting. If you go over and, Tiernan, I'm assuming you're sharing this information, or?
Oh yeah, he's not trying to hide it. So.
Yep. Grumpfel, you're going to have a look. No, it just looks like like something that's been caught or snagged and tear on it. So the table you were going to have a look at too, Grumpfel. Yep. Again, were you sharing information with the rest of the group, or?
Absolutely.
Yep.
This table is a very interesting table. It seems like it is a bit more robust than what would one assume for a dwelling such as this.
So anyone who wants to check out the table, you can make an investigation check.
Yeah, that probably gains 10.
I'll probably, if I was looking at papers.
Yep.
Close to the table.
19.
19.
Okay. Is it perception?
Would you like to guess would you like to guess what I rolled?
5.
What? A 1?
Oh no.
No, in between.
He rolled 3 total, yeah.
I may as well just not roll at this point.
Twins.
I rolled a 16.
7 is horrible.
Twins, I rolled 3 as well.
Okay.
Yay!
Grumpfel, what did you get?
7.
7.
God.
Tiernan got a
16.
16. Okay.
19.
And a 19 there. Okay. The three of you are like all sort of like looking down one end of the table, like all looking at the same spot, and you're like, there's something strange about this nail here, where Rowan and Tiernan are down the other end. And you look and like there's a small wooden sort of peg which seems out of place. And Rowan, because you just got rolled slightly higher, you give it a push.
Oh, Rowan would 100% push it. If there was like a thing that was like that looked wonky, she'd be like, "Oop."
And there's like a low click, and this little drawer slides out, and you notice that from behind it, a piece of paper just floats down to the ground. Obviously, sort of, you know how you get a piece of paper wedged behind a drawer sometimes, when you open it, it falls out. The drawer itself, you can see, is empty, but it's stained dark, as if someone had spilt ink or something inside it.
Okay. Rowan's gonna scoop up and pick up the bit of paper.
Okay.
Because she's probably closer to it than Tiernan is.
Probably.
Well, I mean, just
You can get under the desk.
Like, even if it's gone under the desk, she's just like,
Was that a
"Whip."
height crack?
It was.
Oh.
Yet again. just in my favor for once.
Well, I'll be peering over your shoulder while you read it.
You don't have to peer, you can just look straight down.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
it's like a totem.
Yeah.
Like, oh, we can both see.
You open up the piece of paper,
Yeah.
And it's slightly sort of scrunched because it's almost like it wasn't necessarily meant to be. And then you have sometimes you overstuff a drawer, and you get that piece of paper wedged in the back. So you sort of unfold it, and you can see that it's covered in rough drawings. Up in one corner is a number of what appears to be almost like stylized images of the sun. There are others similar that depict like a sun on a horizon. You also notice that on the bottom of the paper has been colored in almost solid black with charcoal or something similar. And like as your finger sort of touches it, like some of the charcoal wipes away slightly. So you
Does it
sort of
match
feel that
with
you...
the black with the draw?
Sorry?
Does that match with all the blackness in the draw?
A little bit. The blackness also looks like ink, but you sort of you smudge a bunch of the stuff on the bottom as you open the paper. And you can see like what looks to be like just the top corner of a letter where your thumb smudged a piece. As if there's something written underneath.
Is on the letter or on the draw?
On the letter.
Wow.
So it's like someone's just got a piece of charcoal and like coloured in the bottom of it thickly with this charcoal, which is then sort of wiped off slightly with your finger.
Rowan's gonna do the old and wipe to try and get some more of it. Like, even if she ends up covered in charcoal, she doesn't care.
You wipe it off, and underneath you can see written in very neat handwriting, "It can see me." And that is where we will stop.
No.
As she reads it, Rowan's eyes just go.
I love how it's Rowan who finds that.
Yeah.
Traumatized twice.
I don't wanna. Mum told me adventuring was a bad idea.
Also,
Control Z, undo.
Put it back.
Also, at this stage, everyone is going to advance to level 2.
Woohoo!
Yay!
So what I would like to do,
Yes.
what is actually roll hit points now.
Okay.
The way I do hit points, with especially at low levels, is that if you roll less than half, re-roll it, because having shitty hit points is shitty. Anything above half is what you get.
Okay.
So
So-
who?
I say, who do you want to go first?
Who wants to go first?
Well, first of all, as noob, can we tell me which dice I'm supposed to be rolling?
What?
It is sorcerer, so it's a D6.
Yeah. If you go into D&D Beyond, it'll tell you that as well, by the way.
Yep.
Cool.
Yes, I'll show you how to do that after we finish the stream.
Yep. Who's rolling? Who's going to do it?
I can. I got my D8.
Okay. All right.
Got my little D8. Yeah.
Go, Rowan.
I rolled a 4, which I think is tech. Now, here's my question: is that less than half?
Shit.
Because technically,
Half.
Yeah.
well, no, it's not, because on an 8, it's 5 and
it's
above
5
is
and higher. Yeah. No, you can re-roll that. Yep.
Yes.
Yep. Because I hate.
That's a
cracking
3.
3. Yep.
Still a 3. Sorry, I'm rolling like Delgrim. My bad. Hang on. 8.
Okay,
There we go.
All right. Who's next? Tiernan. Come on.
1.
1. For fuck's sake.
2. 1.
Dude, what is up with you guys?
Okay, I got 7.
Sorry.
7. Okay.
The dice hate us, not.
Sorry to ruin your life, Hamish.
Goddamn,
Fun
ruined.
things. Sorry,
Ruined.
I forgot I get fun things at level 2.
Yeah, there's cool stuff at level. All right, Delgrim, what about you? This is where you're gonna roll.
Can I wait for it's some kind of 24-hour cycle before I make this roll?
Because you're gonna roll a 10. Because Kana's gonna come back around and bless you.
All right, so it's what do I got? A 1d10 plus my Constitution modifier,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Look, I rolled a 3.
Yeah. So re-roll it.
And plus the 2. Why am I re-rolling?
So no, don't add
Because
your
the
con
3,
bonus.
you don't. Yeah, so it's less than half
Just the
on your dice.
flat roll. Yeah.
Okay. Re-rolling. 6.
Okay. Grumpfel.
I'm fraught with indecision of which dice to use.
All of them.
But considering this is a very cool game, this just oozes Guardians of the Galaxy sort of stuff. I have a very special set of D8 which I keep in this.
Nice.
I wonder when we're going to have our dance off.
Not until we have a certain number of subs.
So these dice have never been
Get
rolled,
off
so
the
a lot of
bingo card
pressure
if you
here.
want, Promethean.
No
These
pressure.
dice are-
They have to be awesome.
These dice I bought with the specific purpose that they were Frost D8s for themed spellcaster.
Nice.
So from
All
a
right,
good friend of mine in the
let's-
States. Here we go. 8. No word of a lie.
There you
8.
go. I
Yes.
Nice.
totally believe you. Awesome. And lucky last, Miera.
Yeah.
Take a photo to show proof.
4
4. 4 it is. Awesome.
plus
That's
2.
not bad.
Haven't
Oh, that's
touched
not
the
too bad at all.
dice. Haven't touched the dice.
Yeah, I hate sucky hit
Has
points.
Tiernan gone yet?
Tiernan's gone.
Yeah.
Yep. Because Tiernan rolled like about half a dozen ones first.
Oh yeah, that's
Yeah.
right.
Got them all out, when it was
Yeah.
unimportant.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Also, no, yeah, I'm on 20 hit points now, which for a warlock is hilarious.
That's tank.
There you
Let's
go.
just throw
tiny
Rowan at
tank,
things.
Nice.
tiny tank.
So just remember that number. Cass, we can walk you through the whole doing it in D&D
How to do it,
Beyond,
yeah.
because depending on how you did your hit points, D&D Beyond can be an absolute giant pain in the butthole.
I've worked it out. I've finessed that because of all of the streams I do with people. So the podcasts I do with people. So I will walk you through it afterwards.
Cool.
Yeah, I'd appreciate that as well, because I don't believe I've ever leveled up a character on D&D.
Cool.
There you go.
Allow me to help.
Yep.
We'll do that off stream because it's very boring for me to just be like, and now click this thing and then do this.
So
The reveal isn't boring though.
the reveal.
The realist.
So favorite parts of today's session.
Well, can I ask a question, Ham? Do you want us to tell people what our characters get as bonus things at leveling up to the next levels? Or
It is up to you if you want to tell them, if you want it to just be something.
not necessarily what specifically they get, but like what additional class features or whatever come into play.
Completely up to you guys. If you want to tell, absolutely.
I open it
does
to
not
the
worry
floor
me.
to other players.
I don't know yet, so it's a secret.
fine.
To
Maybe
it's a
next
secret
week.
for everyone,
Yeah,
including
that's
me.
fair.
No, that's great. Next session, when Miera suddenly fireballs the entire cabin, we'll be like, oh, right, well, that's what she got. Great.
Yeah.
Oh, crap.
As a ranger, I'll get fighting style, I think it is, and spellcasting.
Ooh, look out.
Ooh.
Invocations.
Dun, dun.
Two invocations.
Yes.
I'll be
Invocations.
getting my infuse items.
You will.
Ooh.
Miera.
Does that include your little buddy? Sorry,
You'll have to
Miera?
wait and
Yes.
see.
I'm excited.
Miera,
Level 2,
I
they
think-
get the Deep Wellspring stuff, right? Yeah, they get Font of Magic.
Yes, they do. So, Miera, you'll get your sorcery points.
You get sorcery points.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which is kind of like Fireball.
Yeah, kinda.
Kinda.
Exciting.
What does Grumpfel get second?
Grumpfel gets channel divinity.
Yes.
And considering he's a cleric of the life domain, clear.
Yeah,
Clear.
yeah. Right, now I can really
becomes a dwarven defib. Yes.
Yeah. Now I can really start just
one of the
guys.
coolest things though as well. Hang on, let me just double check this because I've played a cleric of life domain before, but I've got to just quickly check to see if this is preserve life.
Yes.
Starting at second level, you can use your channel divinity to heal the badly injured. As an action, you present your holy symbol and evoke healing energy that can restore a number of hit points equal to 5 times your cleric level. Choose any creatures within 30 feet of you and divide those hit points among them. This feature can restore a creature to no more than half its hit point maximum.
So basically, when Delgrim pisses off someone who slaps him silly, you can make sure he doesn't die? Perfect.
Yeah, at distance. Because it's within 30 feet, so I don't have to be in melee alongside him going, get up quick.
Well, look, ranged healing, man, like that is just, yeah. Okay. Do we want to do favorite bitsy bombs before we clock on out for the evening?
Yes.
Sure.
Delgrim has a plan.
Yeah.
That was my favorite.
I think Grumpfel's I can legal. I have a cousin who does law. It's like everyone I know who's related to a lawyer is like, I understand the law. My friend, my great granduncle.
I know a guy that knows a guy who told this other guy.
Therefore, I know all of the things.
No, I just think I think in Grumpfel's background as a trader, I think he's got screwed over a couple of times.
Perfect.
With the art of negotiation.
Yeah, no, I think that was absolutely bang on. Absolutely.
I reckon there'd be more than one time that Grumpfel's walked away from a deal going,
hold on.
What just happened?
Yeah. What about you, John?
Oh, me, I thought it was quite interesting that no one was prepared to make any deal, and Delgrim's like, I'll do it. And everyone's like, oh, well, be careful of this and this and this. And he's like, wait, what am I getting myself into?
Yeah. Wait, the what?
Yeah. Huh? Yeah, that's going to be fun to play later on.
I not care. Got it. It's done. Mine. I have 2, and both are from John. One of them is secret from before the stream, and I enjoy it so much.
I think we have to tell them.
Deep in my soul. No, not telling. But the other one was the really weirdly, creepily whispered, I'll tell you later, to Nessa. Completely unnecessarily whispered, it seemed to me. I don't understand why it was done that way, but I loved it.
So whilst you guys are off at Athelas's house, like Nissa's there with her brother just going, there's this really weird guy, like Blue, who was just like whispering just the weirdest shit to me, man. It's
I'll tell you later, sweetie, when I come back from my big adventure.
You know how I need to go and shower again. And you're like, you've already had 5 showers. She's like, I know, I'm just that weirded out.
It's got they're with the like this not pumice stone, but like a piece of granite scraping.
Yeah. I can't get it off.
Unclean.
Layers of skin. What about you, Cass?
Well, yeah, like I said, Delgrim has a plan. Was good.
That's right.
And also, I like Grumpfel's watches and coffee. So that would be
nice.
Pretty good.
Nice.
Merch list.
Yeah.
I was just watching Ham be like, what are they gonna? Nope, they have not yet. Wait, I'm just gonna sit back and let them talk legal for about 10 minutes. This is gonna be good. I'm just gonna. Yep.
At one stage, so like I'm super tired. At one stage, my brain clicked offline, and it came back, and you were like, "And we're gonna do this and that and this. Is this correct?" I'm just like, "Fuck, I don't know what you guys have said." Sure, yeah, baby. Let's. God, I don't know. What did I just agree to? So, no, getting legally.
Was it approximately the time when then you later were like, "This is the deal," and we're all like, "No, that's not."
Yeah,
the
pretty
deal.
much. Yeah. And it was bit of each video.
Remember when we suggested or potentially said outright that thing that we may not actually said out loud, but
people.
Somewhere out there,
that
there's
was
this Bay Panther creature just going, what? Did I agree? Am I getting a whole village? Am I just getting 2 sheep? Did I just sell my soul? I don't know what's going on anymore.
I honestly thought that was going to go completely pear-shaped and everyone just start attacking each
other.
Well, I assume that's what the owlbear rodeo was in preparation for. I was like, I could go for some combat. Maybe we could just start punching it. And
I was waiting for you.
Stuff. It was far too much fun.
There were a couple of times where you're like, and Delgrim will very slowly, I'm just like, shit, he's pulling out a weapon. Fuck. All right, where's my dice? Where are the stats? Okay, how are we going to do this? And very slowly pulls out a notebook and starts writing down the terms of the contract. I'm just like, oh. But no.
Actually, one other thing I enjoyed doing, which is such a self-hype, but I don't care. I'm going to play my ego today, was just playing Freaked Out by the Giant Panther. I'm just like, this was fun and terrifying.
I hadn't even thought of the implications of some of that stuff.
And
I was just like, oh, that's fucking awesome. That was so cool.
Yeah, tell the warlock to make another bargain. That's gonna go well.
But there were lots of little things like that. Again, like you were saying, Heath, in regards to the Grumpfel's background with the trade. These little things which were making sense. I was stoked that you guys finally got to Atlas's house, because I thought you were going to go there last session. You guys were like, nah, we'll just keep going this way. I'm like, okay.
Fine.
So now
the only reason why I suggested it, Tiernan was suggested, was we got half a day.
Yeah, well, look, and congratulations. Here's another little thread for you guys to.
Yes.
Well,
I love multiple things to track across, large amounts of time that I will have absolutely no hope of remembering and going, oh yeah, that thing.
Yeah,
I love that. It's my favorite thing.
Tam can attest to the fact that I sometimes get a bit carried away with some of that stuff. So in our home campaign, there are just so many threads floating around. It's just like, which way do we go? But I try to present a world where there often is a whole bunch of stuff, and you don't have to do everything. You do the thing that feels right for you guys as the group and as the players. So
and the D&D hook merchant. Yeah.
Actually, which slightly reminds me, I do need to in full public view apologize to my other half, who last stream I accused of having her Discord going in the background and doing all the dinging.
Was it your laptop?
No, it was my
computer.
I did. It was my computer.
You accused that.
I did, because apparently I don't know how notifications work. And I am an absolute tool. So I'm just taking ownership for my own stupidity.
And everyone gets an inspiration point.
Yeah.
Go full Oprah. You get an inspiration.
Everyone
point.
gets 5 temporary hit points. Just there.
No, because I found the option, and every time I looked at it, my brain was just like, yeah, sweet. It says turn the notifications off, and the little thing was off. So I was like,
you haven't
off. But you have to turn it on. Turn notifications on.
You have to turn it off.
Yeah.
Not leave it up.
Like, why the fuck is this not working? What shit?
Opt out.
Yeah.
Speaking of moments of inspiration, I've got to say, Promethean with Delgrim's moment of inspiration to go Durga, Deep Gnome, Undercommon. That was very cool. That was very cool.
That was awesome.
Yeah. The second follow-up for moment for the night for me it's got to be Kate with Rowan's reaction to everything to do with this Fae. Backing away. Eyes are backing away. Coming towards, backing away more.
Just a solid hard note. It'll be interesting because I know full well why Promethean, you were like, we need to have a chat. And I'm like, we do, but I don't know you. So no, we don't.
Yeah. And I'm like, okay, I wonder how much I can push this in session 3. Yeah, but not too far. Okay, fine. Sure.
Like,
Did
to be
be
fair,
that way.
the reason she met you by plonking down next to you at a festival. She's not drunk.
That's right.
She's not telling you her entire life story in like 2 days
right.
after she meets you.
What was
And that's
perfect
fair.
about when all that happened
Oh.
was you had the shadow effect as the panther was coming to talk.
Yeah, the accidental. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like
You did.
"Ah!"
It looked really cool.
Yes, it was
When-
totally
when-
intentional.
When you said Black Panther, I was going like, okay, no, don't make any Marvel
Yeah.
references.
No, so shout out to Kobold Press for those Fey Panther creatures.
They're cool.
Critters.
They're man.
I really hope that my normal DM for DM Doctorates does not get his hands on those. By which I mean, you're going to send them to him, are you? Damn it.
Tomb of Beasts, right?
I like Larry.
Level 1, and they can tear us a new one.
I think that might be the Creature Codex because I've got Tomb of Beasts 1, 2, the Creature Codex, and I backed the Tomb of Beasts 3, which I should be getting anytime soon. So yeah, like the chances of you guys encountering monsters from just like the regular monster manual are between slim and none because there's just too many awesome
Too
other
much fun
things.
stuff.
Also, almost like there's
Yeah.
DMs in this game who like normally DM and therefore have probably got the stat blocks accessible.
And that's just-
Totally. Sorry, go.
I was just going to say, and that's just that, like, I'm also conscious that there are other DMs, and it's nice to. I know as a DM, having playing in a game with John, that it's very hard to sometimes switch your brain off when they go, this thing comes running down your here, and it's like, that's a zombie, and it's got 18 hit points, and its armor class is 12, and if I do this,
Except it's not.
yeah.
I dig that. I dig that a lot.
So having something which is just completely wackadoodle, it's just like, here's this weird ass human faced
Yeah.
weird Fey Panther thing.
And can I just say, I actually really enjoyed the voice,
Yeah.
and it kind of
Yes.
gave me like,
Right?
I don't know if you've watched Avatar Airbender. I don't know if you have, but there's a character in it called Ko, who's a face stealer, and it was kind of really giving me that sort of vibe, like
Cool.
really sort of
Awesome.
creepy. Like
Is
if
creepy
showing
sexy? Is that the
No,
vibe? Is that,
Creepy
is that the
sexy.
intended
Well,
vibe, or is that just me?
I
That's,
mean,
that's not a merch.
each
shirt.
their
I've never seen you talking about the Airbender cartoon. I've watched the live action movie and enjoyed that. The cartoon I haven't seen. I've got to say, and I said this during the break when we were off air. It was for me, deliciously Tim Curry, Cardinal Richelieu, Three Musketeers, with a little tiny hint of Stewie from Family Guy.
Interesting. Look, I'm
Hello, Lois.
Musketeer.
I'm incredibly flattered by any comparison to Tim Curry because
Cool
that man
whip.
is
Wait, what?
God.
Yeah, Tim. That was very Cardinal Richelieu. Tim Curry.
Well, the way you described it, it was almost like the Cheshire Cat out of Alice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what the
when
chat
you were
was saying.
talking, you were leaning in with the teeth. I'm like, holy shit.
And that's exactly what I was like. That's what
NVC's just said it's Nigel Thornberry instead. Look, column A, column B, column
Yeah,
trash pile. You know,
you
what the
know.
fuck?
yeah, no, sometimes
Uh.
voices and stuff will happen and sometimes they won't. It's just one of
That's
the
great.
things. So
I realized the other day that if we ever go back to Rowan's hometown, you're gonna have to do my accent.
yeah. No,
And
fuck
you know
you,
what?
Corinthian. Fuck you
That's
too.
one of my favorite things about just randomly deciding to try an accent in session one. Literally, I hadn't planned it, and then it happened, and I was like, and immediately my favorite thing about it is that if we ever go there, you're gonna have to try and do that, and I cannot wait.
I mean,
so
upside, you have a lot of content of us doing them,
This
so
is
it's
true.
not like you can't.
this is
like,
true, but this is for the bingo card.
There it is.
But no, literally, I have been sitting there in the background, like, going, I need to how to do the accent.
Ireland.
I mean,
Just talk on your teeth.
Tarkon, yeah. There's certain words which will get me. But anyway, we'll cross that bridge when we never ever get there because I'm never going to let you guys go.
So,
there.
guys, we're going on a road trip. Rowan's hometown's around the corner.
Forget the fireworks. Forget the cat people. Like,
oh no!
Our
It's
celebration
fallen into a giant
afterwards. We're just going to
sinkhole.
go there. Like, it'll be
It burnt
fine.
to the ground. What a shame.
All we need is
Holy shit.
What's this meteor that's come down and has destroyed the entire fucking
I
city?
made a character with living nice parents, and you're gonna kill them exclusively.
I don't want to do an accent. It's fine. It's
to avoid having to do the accent.
Yeah.
Maybe
All
they
of
just
it-
have like a flu or something.
Red Dragon comes. Sorry about that.
It'll be the
Snooze
second
lots,
coming of the Shard.
I've got. I've got this mental image of the wood veneered station wagon from National Lampoon's Vacation, and we're all piled in with Lindsay Cunningham's Holiday Road blaring, and Grumpfel as the old lady up on the top of the roof in the seat as we belt down the road.
Oh, now how many subs to get?
Right, so
How many subs to go to Rowan's hometown?
Yes.
Hey, technically speaking, all we need is
two more
one
subs and we'll
failed
do it.
survival check. That's all we need is one failed survival check.
Well, what we don't have
The tracks
150,
lead
right?
north.
Well, we don't have 150, right? Like, we don't have a sub thing for 150. Is it 150 when we go to Rowan's hometown? We're in the right area.
Look. I'm a man of my word. If you guys want to go to Rowan's hometown, if that's the right thing for you guys, then I just have to ride with it.
We don't need subs for that. We can just make the
you
goddamn
guys-
decision to go there.
Yeah, you guys are the players. You guys might go, you know what? We just want to go home cooked meal. You know, you
Enjoy that. With
Yeah,
with all- with her father and her
teeth
mother.
talking and strange teeth talking accents that no one else can do. That's like
It's not
that's
that
how
hard
that
to
will
do.
work.
No, I
Not that
got
hard
this.
to do.
I got this image
I mean, it's not that hard to do. It's
only because
incredibly hard to do.
only because of a hat tip to Hamish's New Zealand background. I can just see it being Thor Ragnarok, and we try and do it, and it's kind of like a freaky circle thing. And like every time we try to leave the story arc, we just come back into the town from once we've left it, and we come back to it again.
We just got gifted a sub.
Nice.
Yeah, that's how that works. That's how that happens.
So in reference to the comment I've just put in there, the dude who just provided the sub plays in our home game, or at least
He did play in our home game.
Wow! Now we know what Ham's really like as a DM.
Yeah, you just poke and prod a little
He
bit.
already died.
Out comes the beast.
Hey, it could be worse. We could get there and they go, Rowan who?
Don't give him ideas. What are you doing?
Ouch.
Rowan who and what the hell is that accent? Where do you come from?
mate. Where the Cobber? What are you doing here?
Gauntlet thrown.
Troll. And it's to Josh the pirate. We love Josh the pirate. Josh is responsible for these.
So
My
we've now
wonderful dice tonight.
We've now invented the game of sub chicken, where we're going to see how many subs that can give away.
Josh, who just got gifted that sub, is responsible for
And
my
then-
having these because of we raised two. I think the last game I played here with you guys was the night before I was going on a very late night stream to do things.
Yes, yeah.
So that charity stream raised $2,320 in the end.
That's
Saz
awesome.
was on it as well.
Well done.
Yeah,
Nice.
Saz was also on it.
It all went to childhood cancer support, which is wonderful. And then they did a giveaway, like they had prizes from a few places, which I'm just going to eyeball Saz and ask whether I can name on this channel, given one of them is probably technically in direct competition with your stuff. You're okay with it? Yeah. Their sponsors were like, they had Wooten Forge, Mike Moans donated some stuff, and Roll with Advantage donated some stuff. Because Roll are technically in Dice Land, because so I won these from them. And I won them by rolling a dice in chat and rolling one of my own numbers. So
Yeah.
accidentally gifted myself
What are you
a
doing?
bunch of nice dice. What do you mean? What are we doing? Ham?
I don't know.
We're just supporting the channel.
We are.
Ham, is it a problem for us to support the channel? Did you not want us to support Radiant Shadows right here?
Are you saying that you don't want support from meeplesanddragons.com?
My gosh, Ham.
Dice!
Oh, screw you all indeed.
Oh,
Here's a community.
You know what that means? Oh no!
Here's a
that
community.
Means Ham's like, I'll take it and I'll destroy it.
I know.
Yep. Sorry, go Heath.
I was just going to say a PSA that I just realised. Now, this is third game in. Our first game, there was a lot of sub gifting. I've got a notification that I was actually gifted a sub.
We're about to lose a bunch of subs. So if you're
2 days remaining, so here's a chance that we don't want to slip away from our target of derailing Hamish's game. I mean, continuing to we've got to.
And there's NBC.
Oh, dear. Yes, if you've got a sub that's about to expire, please renew.
I gotta work out my problem with Twitch.
I love seeing some of the names that are popping up in those gifts. That's wonderful to see some people that I know who have been lurking and doing probably other things, but lovely to see you all in.
Look, thank you to anybody who is checking in and watching this, whether it's the whole thing or part of the episode, like lurking while you're doing other stuff, anything.
We're on a hype train level 4.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Hype, thanks, NBC.
Yeah, look, just thanks to everybody.
No,
Tonight's hype train brought to you by Promethean, Ham the DM, NVCDM.
I like to think of it, Promethean, more as you're not bullying me into things that I don't want to do. It's just you're edging me closer to things that you might regret.
Yeah, and that's
every sub gets us one sub closer to me having to sing on stream.
This is true. This is very true.
This is true. My favorite thing about Gab's subs there was how just foreboding they were, how cruel and aggressive they were. It doesn't feel like that anymore, but I also feel like Ham, you've just gone, yeah, okay, fine, and that frightens me on the inside.
Yeah,
I'm truly scared. I'm sorry. I take it back.
You know, it's going to be a beautiful thing. It's going to be a beautiful thing. Stop.
Thanks, chat.
Oh,
thanks, NBC. Thank you, but why?
Don't. Come on.
The more subs that are active, the more that we can leverage Ham and some of the rest of us to do fun, silly things.
Yeah, this isn't just me, guys. Like there are a bunch of other people here.
Because so I've said I'll sing on stream at 250.
Yeah.
Promethean and I are singing on stream at 350.
Yeah, John's got his interpretive dance at 150 or something, wasn't it?
John's got an interpretive dance at 150.
I can't dance, let alone interpretive dance.
Interpretive dance is easy. It's improv dance.
It is. That's just
you can improv.
Yeah.
We're doing it now.
If you want to, you can leave your friends behind.
But if your friends don't dance, and if they don't dance,
they're no friends of mine.
Friends of mine.
Exactly.
Go if you want.
Can we rewrite the words of that for a Radiant Shadows parody?
I went back to my notes from last session because I had some stuff written away, and I found under a bunch of the notes where I had started rewriting the lyrics to Unchained Melody to align it with swords and stuff. Gosh, I can't remember though.
I'm glad that you did that.
Yeah. I'm gonna have to try and finish it off.
It means I wasn't the only one still thinking about it afterwards, Ham.
Oh, I thought about it for a long.
Guys, no, I have to hear this. Like, no,
I feel like I shouldn't be here.
I refuse.
Get another channel. Come on.
Should we just give you a couple of minutes just to yourselves?
I'm waiting for either Grumpfel or Delgrim to do the Sharon Stone change over the legs from.
Can I just ask chat if chat had any favorite moments tonight? I'm just going to try and drag this back on other than hype train, obviously. Which is about a minute and a half left if anyone wants to try and push our hype train
push
over
it.
push
it good
over the edge.
Oh, sorry.
Chat,
the people was also a personal favorite moment of mine as well.
People.
I enjoyed that. Yeah, I like that. Welcome to Radiant Shadows Upplay.
Oh God.
Yeah, that's dangerous. Who are we?
I'm just gonna gift a sub because I can. Because I got gifted a sub the other week. Phoenix Iwaki, I think, is still live at the moment. If we wanted to go, yeah, they're about to start Candlekeep Mysteries by the looks of things. If my memory of their schedule is any good, give me like 10 seconds. I'll be able to confirm that. They've got an ad, guys. Yeah, so Candlekeep Mysteries, Price of Beauty is what they're doing tonight. And I think it would be great if we go over and support some extra humans.
Absolutely.
Yes, 300 subs and I won't sing and you'll all be grateful.
Jazz hands.
Oh, you never know. Also, if people want to run into me at PAX and try and force me to sing, you can try. I have a bastard version of the Wellerman that I did on stream for something else. So
I believe there was a sneak peek of you singing on Twitter as well that I might have seen.
Oh yeah, there's a few songs of me on Twitter. That's no surprise.
I am just generally curious on how tall you actually are now.
6'1". I'm 6'1".
I'm not.
There's a
imperial.
giant.
I don't know that.
I'm 185 centimeters tall, Tron, if you want it in normal people.
Oh, okay. So you're like 1.5, maybe. An extra torso.
Yeah.
I'm 152 centimeters.
Choo choo! Just saying. Good work, folks. Well done.
100 active subs in Ham will lip sync for a TikTok.
I just read that.
Oh,
Hey,
Talera.
if some of the apps out there, we just need a photo of him, and the AI will make it sing.
Look, what's yours is hers,
Deep
and vice
faking.
versa.
You know what, Ham?
And
I'll find
and
you
the
the perfect
deal's been
song.
made.
It'll be fine. We got you. It'll be no worries. It'll be easy.
Look, I mean, if you try hard enough, you can find me singing online anyway. So.
I mean, we can just get in safety dance.
Oh, look at Promethean.
what?
I just nothing at all.
What?
Really?
Where?
Minnie Ripperton loving you.
Okay, I'm
All right, who are we rating? What are we doing?
Phoenix Iwaki?
Find.
Yeah, there was a few choices there, but yeah, let's rate.
Oh yeah,
Phoenix.
NVC can confirm that I'm tall because NVC has actually met me in real life. So, as has Josh the Pirate, who was apparently
You've been hand rolled.
Yeah.
Ham. Does singing in the rain mean anything to you?
Singing in the rain.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, we could do that. We could 100% do that.
No,
I'm just wondering.
You've been hammered.
Do you just-
Hang on. Don't you go by ham on rye? You could be Reich rolled.
God. Let's
Oh,
let's
no,
before
raid.
this-
That's bad.
Let's
Abort.
raid.
Let's get out of this now.
Oh, thank you all
Oh.
for coming. See you in 2 weeks.
Thank you very much,
Or at
everyone.
PAX.
Play nice.
Bye.
Whoever's going to go.
Catch you on the hunt for hand singing on the internet.
Yes.